travel to a faraway jungle to find the source, each having their own reasons. Welcome to the Tomb of Annihilation.
So, is everyone ready then?
Yes!
Okay.
Yes.
In which case, everyone, welcome back after a number of weeks off. I thought that I would start with a bit of a refresher. So,
Thank you.
Maybe a good idea, yes.
our party have been in Chult for 63 days. Each of them, for their own reasons, sought out the Lady Cinder Sylvain within days of a mysterious disease that engulfed the land. Their journey began with the torture of the infamous lich, the Duchess of Rot. They discovered that the curse was of a magical nature, powered by a device called the Soulmonger, and that its source originates in Chult. Fleeing the escaped lich, our party sailed across the sea towards Chult. They were attacked by pirates, and after overcoming them, upon entering the bay, they encountered the dragon turtle Arameg. On reaching Port Nyan Zaru, our party then met with Wakanga Otamu, an old friend of the Lady Sylvain, and one of the merchant princes that control the port. In the months that followed, our party travelled the length of Chult, retrieving a family heirloom for Azaka, whom they also saved from being turned to stone. They met and travelled with a priest from Baldur's Gate, Ponti, who helped them overcome the ancient mummy in a long-forgotten tomb. Our party cleared the Nazi wastes of the Blight, earning the favour of the Aarakocra at Kirsabal, whereafter they discovered the ancient fortress of Raz-Nazi, one of the seven paladins of Ubtao, the god who once protected Chult but abandoned his people following their greed. Our party then dealt with a pirate threat, stopping an all-out war between the Dwarven clans and Baldur's Gate. They then reclaimed the Dwarven forge at Harak Hamar, rid Wormheart Mine of the Red Dragon Sindalor, before helping the Aarakocra goddess Edi Fenya by defeating a wayward Aarakocra warlock and closing a rift to some hellish plane where a demigod was attempting to cross over, until, eventually, our party emerged from the jungle into the once great capital city of Omu, now an overgrown and sunken ruin, inhabited by gargoyles, Yuan-Ti, and once controlled by 9 demigods. On entering the city, our party have met some interesting residents, learned a little of the dangers lurking in the undergrowth. They also have in their possession 5 of 9 magic cubes from the demigod shrines. They know solve a puzzle, but not which one. Perhaps they are yet to discover. In our last session, our party, in the dead of night, crossed the northernmost portion of the river to the shrine of Nyang Yang, where they met the Grunge chief Yorb and 200 other grungs that have taken up residence around the shrine. After a cautious approach and introductions, our party learned that the cube from this shrine was recently stolen by Raz-Nazi, and that the Yuan-Ti often raid and kill these grungs. In exchange for the return of his cube and the death of Raz-Nazi, Chief Yorb gave the party the location of a secret entrance into the Yuan-Ti temple residing under the ruined palace. The party also let the chief know that his son had been sacrificed into the lava by veggie pygmies. Thanking Chief Yorb, our party left, managing a long rest in a nearby building. Unfortunately, Valrus had his rest interrupted by a strange dream. A heated debate about their next move had also taken place, to infiltrate the Yuan-Ti for the Nyang Yang cube, or do they travel to gather all the other cubes first? In the morning, our party chose the latter and set off downriver to the southernmost point of interest on their map, overcoming rapids and strong currents to reach their destination. It is the middle of the morning as our party disembarks from the canoe, right behind the shrine. Over to you. Let me change to the map. You stand on the edge of the forest overgrowth. Two ruined buildings and a small alleyway lead up ahead of you towards the shrine.
Oh, that took longer than I expected. Seemed like a month.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a blank slate as well.
Anyways, that should be the one, isn't it? I say, pointing at the shrine right before us.
Yes. We are in the middle of a day, right, DM?
In the morning, yes, it is. I would call it 10 a.m.
Okay, but we hadn't had a fight, so we should be fully rested.
Everyone is fully rested except for Valrus, who's had a short rest.
Okay, nice. Then my character sheet is correct.
And you all have inspiration after your meeting with Chief Yorb.
Alrighty.
Great. Yeah, shall we head in?
Yes.
May as
Before
well.
eyes open.
Okay, which route are you taking? Traveling around the outskirts of the building or cutting through the rubble of the back wall?
Between those two buildings, and then I think we go around the wall outside.
Yeah.
Because they usually have text on the entrance.
Okay. Let me zoom out quickly. And move you guys to the front over here. 1, 2, 5 of you. Okay, so you skirt around the southern side of the building, traveling across the 10-foot high walls that surround this shrine. As you approach the front of the compound, your eyes are drawn to two obelisks standing tall at the entrance. Carved with intricate swirly patterns, they exude an air of mystery and antiquity. These ancient symbols, weathered by time, hint at some rich forgotten history, tales that might lie within Omu. As you enter down the small corridor towards the two obelisks, you find yourself surrounded by a dense cluster of towering palm trees, their leaves creating a canopy of shade, a refuge from the increasing heat and sunlight. The courtyard, once meticulously maintained, now appears moss-covered, wild and untamed as nature reclaims its space. Amidst the foliage, you notice imposing stone doors that seal the entrance to a windowless shrine. The doors, weathered and worn, bear the weight of ages. They stand as a barrier between the outside world and the mysteries that lie within this sacred space. The absence of windows only adds some level of secrecy, leaving you curious about what awaits inside. Standing adjacent to the shrine is a smaller ruin. Its crumbling walls show the passage of time. Though dilapidated, it carries an echo of a bygone era, providing a glimpse into the architectural marvels of the past. The closeness of the shrine suggests some connection, perhaps, some shared purpose this structure has to the shrine. You stand in the compound looking around and you can almost feel the whispers of ancient stories and forgotten rituals that once echoed through the halls inside. What secrets might be held inside? What untold tales might be waiting for you to discover them? As you stare at the door above you, sorry, after you stare at the door above it, an inscription is written in Old Omuan.
Again with this. I will cast Comprehend Languages using a spell slot.
Okay. Right. Within moments of casting it, you understand the language, and the letters begin to form in familiar script, and it says, Unkh urges us to contrast all options before acting.
Contrast all options.
Contrast,
Correct.
yeah.
Who
Fitting
was
for
on?
a snail, I suppose.
Right, let me switch to the map for you guys.
Okay, it's stuck there.
Text
I wonder-
as cryptic as ever.
Yeah, I wonder why this little building is here for. The first one.
I should have snuffed out the vision in it, but I see
Dustin,
Dustin
Dustin is already sticking his head in and looking around like.
Exactly.
Okay. Dusted, as you look around and the rest of you notice Dusted veering off, this smaller squat building has seen its share of decay. The one stone door lies shattered in small chunks on the ground. Various inscriptions adorning the stone tell you that this building was of some significance. As you cautiously peer into the open area, the sight before you is both intriguing and curious. The roof, once a protective shelter, has given way to the forces of time and nature. A thick vegetation now thrives, growing across the wall's interior and the floor. The soil covered with rubble all over the place. You can see plants and vines and ivy breaking through the stone and rubble around. Within the confines of this 15-foot square pace and amidst the tangle of moss and plants, your eyes are drawn to the wall adorned with hundreds of iron keys. The keys on the far wall hang from hooks. Their shapes varied and unique. Some of the keys appear to be bent and broken, evidence of past use and wear, while others have succumbed to the relentless march of rust. Yet among them you notice a significant number of keys that retain their original form and seem to be in serviceable condition. As you stare at the wall adorned with keys, you can't help but feel a sense of intrigue and curiosity. What potential does each key hold? Which doors do they open?
It's dusted. If it's shiny, it's shiny.
Iron keys, yes.
Do we need a key to get in? Because I think I have several over here. And he looks over to Varko and Valvis, who seems to be at the gate.
Does the gate open?
Glance over at the gate, see if there's a keyhole.
Vargo and
Mhm.
Valrus. The doors to the shrine do not appear to be locked. They hang on heavy hinges, and are made of stone. As you attempt to try and move them, you realize you do not have the strength on your own to heave them open.
Might need some muscle, I say, looking at Charlena.
I suppose I can lend a hand.
Okay.
Or 2.
How are you going to try and open the doors?
Do they look like they're a push or a pull?
Yeah, is there text on it?
Is there text on it?
Ancient scriptures.
There,
Pushing forward.
there is no visible pulling handle. so you deduce that they must be a push.
Yes, they have to be a push. She's just gonna push as hard as possible.
What is your strength?
13.
Go ahead and roll a strength check at disadvantage for me, please.
Oh.
As you heave and push and grunt and stick your shoulder into it, the doors don't even budge.
DM, do the doors seem to be pull or push?
Roll a perception check.
I just saw Yardalena applying force to it. Well.
I mean, they are flat stone doors. There is a keyhole in it, but there is nowhere to pull. But you're convinced you must be able to pull them. However, seeing as she couldn't push them, I mean, with a 6, you're unsure.
I mean, the part that there is a keyhole in it, it's enough. it's good information.
Mm-hmm.
But we might want to try some keys first.
Vargo, what did you say the text outside said?
What are your options? Something
Unkh urges us to
No, isn't it
contrast all
contrast?
options before. Yeah.
Too many
Correct.
were talking at the same time now. Sorry. Could you say that again?
Unkh urges us to contrast all options before acting. Unkh is the snaily.
Trust all options.
Contrast, yeah.
Contrast.
Untrust. Okay.
contrast.
Contrast, as in to compare.
Yeah, contrast.
Exactly.
All right, I had it right.
So, should we do a comparison of the different keys before we put any key in the keyhole?
I mean, sure. Seems like a good option. Oh, I hear you muffled, buddy.
So the question is, if Lunan is gonna go in and look at the keys.
Alright, roll a perception check for me, Lunan.
In the meantime, Vargo is going to cast Detect Magic, just in case.
Vargo, where are you? Are you burning a slot?
Nope, for this one, I'm in Ritual Casting.
Okay. So, Lunan...
That was a horrible roll for 12.
Searching the keys. With a 12, you find there are a good dozen keys that seem to have been either taken care of. In particular, there are 6 polished ones, and there are a further 6 that have got small specks of rust on them. The rest of the keys are either bent or rusted, and do not look like they've been used much at all. Particularly, you would probably guess in the last month. Some of the bent ones and broken ones have got dust on them and are completely useless.
Dusted would like to think a little bit about the riddle.
Okay.
And sort of throwing caution to the wind, I will try to pick up a particularly dusty and bendy one and go outside. But instead of trying to put it in the lock, walk past the two obelisks.
So
Because that's the contrast of trying to open a door. You would take the key to the keyhole. So that's his reasoning.
So you're going to pick up one of the blade keys and you're going to exit
Walk off.
the building.
Yeah, like down here or something.
Okay. You pick up the key. Roll a perception check for me, please, as you walk out of the grounds.
Only a 12.
Okay. 10 being easy, 15 being difficult. Somewhere in the middle. You walk out. Nothing around you notice has changed. You turn around and you look at the doors. A good, 30 feet away? 40. Nothing appears different. Whatever you were expecting, it doesn't seem to be any difference.
Could you try to give the door a push? Jalena? He sort of stands there with the key.
But I already tried.
Huh.
I can try again, but I don't see why it would suddenly work.
Just a hunch.
She will try again,
How are you
but
going to...
probably with less enthusiasm, because she doesn't think it's gonna work.
Are you going to give it a proper shove again?
Yes, but she'll just look unbothered, I guess.
Okay, then go ahead and roll a strength check with disadvantage for me, please.
Yes. Oh.
This
Bless
time,
him,
as you
indeed.
put your back to it,
Yep.
you try to push it. It's even worse. Your feet seem to like slip out from underneath you. The rainfall from early morning has made the ground muddy, and you just can't seem to get a grip. And as you push and shove, you drop to one knee, and your foot slips out. The doors don't budge at all.
It is the same as before.
Oh. Oh. And Dustin sort of walks back in. Well, I thought it would have worked.
All right.
Why is that?
I like what you're saying. Maybe the true keyhole is somewhere not at the main entrance. Maybe we should walk the perimeter of the building.
So you want to search for a keyhole along the building?
It's also a contrast of options.
Hmm.
Well,
I mean, do you want me to crawl to the roof and have a look? And Dustin is sort of like annoyed this didn't work, so he just wants to do anything, you know, like get some workout
the
in.
riddles were never really that.
I just going to say that it may be worth trying all those things after we try putting the keys in the entrance.
Yes, because the riddles haven't always exactly given us the answer. It might be that it is for whatever is inside that it.
Lunan, did you collect any of the keys after having a look through?
No, I looked but did not touch so
Okay.
far.
Okay, so they're all still hanging on their hooks inside the room.
Yeah. Do they have any particular pattern in how they hang?
No, they're all hanging on the hooks, which are perfectly in line.
Too bad I don't have a Photoshop here. At least the contrast.
I say follow what Vargo said and just try all of them.
Before acting, that sounds like something that will cause problems.
What deity did Lunan worship again?
The one of knowledge.
Which is?
Ayun.
That's an Ion cleric for you.
The riddle might not really point towards how to get into the thing. Maybe it's for whatever is inside.
But we agree that there's a shit out here. Or shit. So it has to be used for something. But I mean, we won't get in just by trying to push it. Clearly, that much is obvious.
Lunan is walking around looking if he can find either a keyhole or any type of hole or window into the building.
Okay, roll perception or investigation for me, please. How long are you going to spend searching?
As long as I hear them still talking, I will continue moving along the perimeter.
Alright, so
Probably a good idea.
Let's do one roll for each wall.
Okay.
For each side, then.
So this is the first one. Do you want me to do all of them at once? Oh,
yes,
natural
please.
20.
Nice, good dice.
All three walls at the same time?
Yep.
That's the back wall.
That's also a good one.
And this is the opposite wall of the one I was at first, so I assume I got tired of looking.
So
that was a natural one.
The first wall, you conduct a thorough search. You find nothing. The second one, you look over it, you run your hands across looking for keyholes. Nothing over there. And then dejected on the third one, you almost give up as you can't pick up the conversation, so you move quickly towards the doors again on the other side. In the meantime, while he's searching, the four of you.
Okay, so what god is this? Can we just clear that up? It's a kind of what? It's Unkh, and what is he?
It's the snail image.
Yeah, but each of them are sort of like a creature that exists in reality. So, in this world. So, what kind of creature is that? What creature is it? It's not just a snail. It must be some kind of creature because it has like those eye stalks, doesn't it?
While I continue with the ritual, I pass him my volume of Baldur's Gate to Monsters.
Oh yes, that's a great idea. My intelligence will really save this.
Go ahead. Are you going to try and read through Volo's Guide of Monsters?
I can try. What is it that you roll for that?
Go ahead and roll. I believe it's intelligence.
For
just
you,
raw intelligence.
Straight intelligence, yes.
Yeah.
And for me as well. I don't know why it's.
No,
That's a
Dustin gets
save.
bored.
That's a save. That's a save.
Oh, yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's the same thing.
Ah, okay. It's the same. Oh, fighter. Yes. All right.
Flicking through it, Dusted, you get halfway through the volume and almost give up from boredom. There are a couple of pretty pictures, but really the door holds more curiosity and mystery for you than some book.
Dustin passes back to Alina, who's for some reason not on full health, but should be, and he sneaks back into the shit.
Okay. Yelena, what are you doing in the meantime?
I believe she left. I mean, she's AFK.
Oh, she's AFK. Valorous?
Oh, no, sorry, my mic ran out of battery at like the worst time.
Okay.
So I missed. I think Dustin handed me something, and then
I gave you the Wallow's Guide that I was given by Vargo, and then I ran into the shit. And for some reason you don't have full HP. I don't know why.
No, I don't know either.
While Bargo is performing the ritual, we are trying to figure out which creature exactly is this demigod, Unkh. Some kind of snail, apparently.
Yes.
Now she vanished.
Oh yeah, I did. Oh,
Oh, where have you gone?
I don't know.
There is a thingy when you click some tokens, they go up to the upper left part of the map. You might find her there.
No, you're not on the top left.
Hmm.
So Yelena, what are you? Oh, you. Right, I got you.
I've updated my health. Should just accept the book and look after Dusted as he dashes into the shed, and she's just gonna keep an eye on him in case it looks like something bad might happen.
Okay.
I picked the
Boy,
back.
why am I the one needing a babysitter all of a sudden?
Valrus?
She knows what he's like.
Well, everyone's working hard, so he's going to lean back on against the wall and.
Barris, my sweetheart, can you try to do the keys one by one?
I don't have the keys, otherwise I would.
They are like several hundred keys in here, as I understand
Yeah,
it.
but only 12 that work or something like that.
All right.
No, we don't know that. We don't know if they work. That's the point.
Going to
That
go
was
in the
in the
shed, pick up the first
That
key
was
I
in the
see,
description
and
provided by the DM.
gonna take a leap of faith and try and open the door with a random key.
Okay, so roll 1d20 for me, please. As you walk into the shed, you step next to Dusted and reach out and grab the 6th key along.
Yes.
It's slightly bent. It's got specks of rust on it. You walk across back to the door as Lunan comes around the corner after 7 minutes, and you fumble with the key trying to get it into the hole in the stone. It slides in, but the key appears to be slightly smaller than the actual lock embedded in the stone.
There for a second, pull it out, and nothing bad happened.
Nothing bad happened.
What do we need? A bigger key?
From the looks of it, yes.
A stupid question, TM. Is it dark in here, or does it have sunlight?
The light is... The roof has collapsed, so the light is almost streaming in, but don't forget that there is big palm trees that are providing shade.
Yeah, but that's why I'm asking, does our dark vision set in when we go in here? Because then all keys are grey, right?
No, your dark vision...
Okay.
It's not dim enough for the dark vision to kick in.
Okay. I'm still gonna strike a torch.
Okay. Around this time, Vargo, you finish ritually casting your spell.
Alrighty. Looking at the door. Looking at the keys.
Your eyes blaze with arcane flame. Incantations let you see the magical nature of things around you as you glaze over the keys. Nothing is magical in this small room. You look around the courtyard and you look at the stone doors. There is nothing magical about them either.
Alrighty. None of the keys are special, or at least not magically special. I believe we can try all of them.
Right. Then I will collect the ones that looks the most promising, and I will collect the ones that you mentioned before, DM.
So, picking up a dozen keys, You head over with a handful of keys towards the door. Are you
And I placed them
carrying...
out on the. I placed them out on the ground before the door.
Okay. Are you going to try them one by one?
Mm-hmm.
I think we should look at the key you just had and find a key. Try a key that's larger than the ones.
Okay.
We
Roll a
should
percent.
also keep the unused keys just in case they might come handy inside.
So you're going to take all the keys off their hooks.
I took all the interesting keys
Yep.
off the hook and brought it to where I am now.
Vargo, are you going to go in and take the rest?
Not really, no.
Okay.
The rusty. You mentioned, if I write it down correctly, that there were a dozen or so that were in better condition than the others.
Those are the ones
I
that
think that's
Lunan
what
is
was
taking.
grabbed. Yeah.
Then I don't think it necessary at the moment, no.
Okay. So, Lunan, you make your way to the door and you lay the keys out on the ground. I assume you're going to put them in order of, let's say, pristine quality. And then
Sure,
size.
that works. Yeah.
Alright, roll a percentile dice for me, please.
Each key that doesn't match summons a monster inside the temple.
Don't spoil it.
Why? Okay, the percentile die
D100.
was
Lunan
90.
takes 90 damage.
Wow, that's pretty good. 90%.
Insta death.
As you
No,
examine,
not at this level. Funnily enough.
as you examine the key that Valrus used, you ascertain that there are indeed 3 keys that are probably gonna fit the lock, based on the size and the quality of them. Picking up the first key, are you going to slide the keys into the door yourself?
I hold them all up and all 3 up and say these are the 3 most likely.
Okay.
I still believe that if we put the wrong one in, there's a risk of a trap firing. So I would want to not stand too close.
That
Wasn't there
case,
someone who had
create a mage hand.
yeah? So
Okay.
we
So,
will step away from the door and have a mage hand turn the key.
standing over the slightly muddy pathway in front of the door, Lunan lays the keys out on the ground, and after scrutinizing them for about a minute or so, he leans over and picks up 3 and holds them out, triumphantly saying, "I believe these are the keys, but I don't want to get blown up." At which Valrus then casts Mage Hand and volunteers to try the keys using his Mage Hand.
Yes.
Manipulating the Mage Hand, Valrus, you grab the first key and it moves ever closer. Yelena, just for interest's sake, are you standing 5 foot away from the doors?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she will move when they talk about blowing stuff up.
As Dustin...
Barvis is standing close to the door because I trust his decision.
Okay.
It's not the mage hand; it's the mage's hand.
And Dustin, are you hiding in this ruined side shed?
He's playing his own game with the rusting keys,
Okay.
I believe.
He's counting the rusted keys and the specks of dust. Right, Valrus, the first key slots in. Are you trying to unlock the doors?
Yeah.
Okay. The first one slides in, and as you use your mage hand to almost manipulate it to turn the key gets stuck, and it doesn't seem to want to move inside the lock.
Is your mage hand
taking-
working?
Evidently not.
Well, the lock isn't.
Are you
Oh
going
my god.
to try and force it, or are you going to give up and try the next key?
Give up and try the next key.
Okay. So you withdraw the key using your mage hand and float it back to Lunan's waiting hands as you grab the second one, and as you put the key into the lock, you can almost feel something slightly different as it effortlessly slides into the lock, and you feel a little pink. You slowly turn the key clockwise, and it gives a little nudge, and as you twist it, you hear a
All right.
Perhaps you can muster the strength to open the doors now.
In fact, Vargo, roll a perception check for me.
Sure.
You're the closest.
That will be a 10.
Quite easy to get being that close. You recognize the sound of a lock clicking in place, locking the doors.
I try opening the door. Wait, wait, what?
Locking the door, yeah. It has always been open.
The other way. The other way. The other way.
Turns out Yerlina pushed at the wrong door.
Faris,
Yep.
are you going to unlock the door?
Yes.
Alright, using your mage
It
hand,
was
you
indeed a
manipulate
pull door, yeah.
just one little click as the lock unclicks. The doors are open.
It worked.
You retract the key and hand it back to Lunan?
I'll keep it.
My god.
Or should we use the key as a doorknob to pull?
Yeah, that'll make it easy. Oh yeah, I guess. Could do.
I opened the door. Yeah. I don't know how, but they do it.
Okay. So you step in front of the doors, and are you going to push on the doors?
I'm going to do the opposite that Jarlena did. I don't know. I don't remember at this point.
Pull.
You can't really get your fingers in between the cracks of the stone. There's not really much way that you can pull on these doors.
Use the key as a knob.
I used the key as a knob,
Okay.
with carefully trying it not to break.
Barbarians.
Okay, so as you take the key from the mage hand, you slide it into the lock, and you just position it so that it catches on the lock, and you begin to pull. I need you to roll a strength check at disadvantage for me, please.
I have Barry's mage hand helping me. Doesn't that count for
It's like 5 pounds of force.
The key is not big enough for 2 different sets of
All right,
hands or
I'm
something.
going to bar my inspiration for this because
Oh.
fuck it. Which makes it an 18.
Okay. As you pull on the key with all of your strength, an 18. You hear a snap as the key snaps and breaks off in your hand.
Well,
I
think
pull
I-
up.
What have
I
you
think-
done?
Barbarians.
Good
I
thing
think-
I unlocked the door.
I take my
Barbarians.
I take my thieves tools that I have with me because for some reason artificers get it,
Yep.
which I don't respect, and try to fix this thing.
Okay, so roll a dex check and add your modifier. Or your
I
proficiency modifier.
that will be
+3.
+3.
And you slide your thieves' tools into the lock. The piece of key remaining inside there seems to elude you. You just can't seem to get it out the hole.
I quit. Can we try another temple? I prefer flying on a lava lake than dealing with this door.
Go back to a previous temple. Those were easier.
Can you not go under the door?
I don't know.
Under
Can
the
I go
door.
and... We have a potion of gaseous form. That's true.
and then push from the other side. Or pull.
Mm.
Only problem is if we get in and can't get out.
How long does the potion of gaseous form last, DM?
I think it's 4 hours, or you can end it when you need to.
But it's not back and forth, right?
No,
The
it's
standard
one time
is
use.
It's 1 hour until the end. You end the effect as a bonus action. Yes, I have it in the bag of holding.
Because if we go in there and then end it because we want to
who,
grab
ha-
the item
who
and
has
then try to get
the
out.
who has the dimension door thingy?
I do. I just looked at it as well.
Uh, and then you can go inside as a gaseous form and outside with dimension door. You don't need to see where you are teleporting.
That's true.
Let's do that, please. Obviously,
It's
the answer was going diving in this pool over here. There is a secret path if you dive in this place.
is there a crack in the door even though?
Roll an
DM?
investigation check for me, or a perception check, Valrus, as you step up to the door and you examine it. With Dustin by your side.
If there is a new I don't know a hole for the key, there has to be a space for gas to go inside. Go in.
Yeah, but
That-
the
that
keyhole has a broken key in it now.
That is a...
I doubt it's hermetic.
someone was going to ask me a question. Dustin, you knock and the door sounds solid, like knocking on a wall.
Will be surprised if there is someone inside, but good try.
No, I mean we are trying every option, and I mean, Dustin is still seriously looking how he gets on the roof of this thing, and then notices the shed next to him.
Yeah,
He's still very much attuned to try and get in there, so he's just gonna try to climb to the roof.
Dustin, I'm going to give you a pull to get on top of this thing, and then you should pretty easily go to the roof of that one.
Dustin, roll a perception check for me, please.
Oh. 16.
After banging on the door, you've been in captivity. You know what it's like when you encounter immovable objects. Having looked at the length of the key and the depth of the keyhole, you could probably ascertain these doors weigh each 600 pounds.
Oh,
Pure
okay.
solid stone.
Yeah.
That's lightweight for Javelina.
Sometimes I so wish I had the spell that shrinks stuff.
Oh, enlarge? Reduce?
Enlarge, reduce, yeah.
But it would only make us small, not tiny. So.
Yeah, but if you make the doors small, they are no
If you
longer
make-
in the door.
No, that's a pretty awesome use of that spell. I haven't thought of it. I love it.
So,
who needs knock?
So
Yeah,
this is
it's
not a-
much better than knock.
But if they're 600-pound seas, they would not be feasible as doors, and the other doors weren't that thick either, if I remember correctly.
I swear to God, Barbie is going to pick the knock spell after this temple.
I think what would happen if someone had the knock spell is that the door would unlock.
Oh, it was still
as
open. It
has
was
now.
it's still unlocked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doors unlocked is the knock doesn't help.
It's just a very, very heavy door. Yeah.
Yes.
My God. Okay, I don't pick it.
Dustin, you have noticed that you could probably scale the walls next to it. To get up to the top, though. With that 16, you notice there would be a pathway. You could climb on top and have a look around.
Dustin would like to do that at least.
I'll need an athletics
There's a
check from
chimney.
you, please.
Margot is helping you.
With advantage.
Okay.
As Vargo gives you a boost. As you scramble
19.
As you scramble up the stone, you manage to find some small handholds. Scrabbling up the 10, 11 feet you manage to get onto top of the shrine.
In the meantime, while Dusted is climbing,
Mm-hmm.
who of us are the strongest? I'm saying to the group, looking at Jarlena, but is not sure.
I look at Jarlena, no doubt.
No, but
Well,
It's
the
either
strength
Jarlena,
is not
either
my
Jarlena,
strong suit, but she looks at all of you.
either
It's
Jarlena
probably more than
or
yours.
either Jarlena or Dusted. I'm pretty average on that
I
front.
think they were the same, weren't they?
I think your letter was one more than Dusted, I think.
I mean, the thing is, I'm as strong as Margot, but you always forget that.
Oh, and me.
I have
Margot,
10 strength.
same as Margot then. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. A party that can't even open a door.
But
That's
maybe
every
we
party. What?
I will
Maybe-
never make. I will never. I mean, have we tried doing it all together?
that's
The door
what I
is
was
open.
gonna say.
That's
We could
Yeah.
ridiculous.
do it together.
Let's do it.
Together.
Let's do it together. Let's do it together. There is a song for that. I believe.
But we might not all fit together, so that's why I was thinking the strongest of us. I say
I mean-
looking
don't
at
think I would be much help, anyways.
exactly looking at Valrus.
So, as Dusted scrambles up the side of the building and reaches the top of the shrine, the four of you group around the doors, and what are you going to do? Push?
I don't
Begin
know,
with.
DM. I don't know.
I need a group strength check, please.
I guess we'll.
Stare intently at the wall.
Are we gonna push?
Will it to open?
14 for Margot.
Is it
Strength check, you said?
disadvantage?
Strength check, yeah.
Average.
Oh my god, this is not going okay.
You're
I'm gonna
tired.
use my
Be- be-
inspiration.
Come
Does that
on,
mean-
roll over. I know you can do it.
I can't remember. Is inspiration like get advantage or I?
Yes, it's
You get to
advantage
You can
after.
either add a d10 or you can choose to
I'll roll
get
again.
advantage.
What's the worst that can happen?
Question,
Oh,
DM.
never mind.
I never doubt.
That is almost the worst.
Yep.
And Valrus?
Dear me.
Okay, he'll try.
You're in front of the door, you don't have a choice. You've got Lunan.
Oh, I'm being pushed against someone. Where's my strength? There it is. I'm very strong. Yeah, I'm just being pushed. I'm not pushing.
Okay.
I mean, if anything, you are in character.
So,
Yes, he is also very tired. He's almost not even trying.
we've got two who managed to get above 10, and there are four of you. As you begin to shove the doors, the four of your combined strength, you almost feel the stone starting to give as it grates on the floor, grunting and heaving. Ugh. Fargo, you manage to, muscles bulging, you feel the doors begin to shudder as Yelena slips onto one knee and almost falls face first. Next to you, Valrus does the same as Lunan steps over his body and pushes as the doors finally grate stone on stone. They begin to slowly move inwards. Light from the outside spills into the entrance as the doors slowly part and get stuck at a 30-degree angle inside, but not fully opened.
We need to hire a barbarian.
Let me get a draw.
At least we know it's a push door.
Yeah.
Is that
Hooray.
enough
Start
to
it was.
climb through, or?
Bear with me 1 second. Dusted,
If
as
not,
you
the
Varys.
get
gaseous form will definitely get us in now.
Dusted, as you get to the top, you hear grating stone, and then you hear the thump as Yelena hits the ground and the mud, and Valrus lands onto one of his knees as well. And just as you peer down, you can notice the stone doors slowly push in. On the top of the
Oh,
shrine, everywhere that you look, it is thick stone. There are no windows. There's no cracks or crevices in the ceiling at all.
oh, buddy. Let me see that. Varys, you have your shoulder dislocated. Let me readjust it for you. There. Go.
Dusted, are you gonna stay up or climb down?
And you accuse me of being hard-headed. Jeez. And Dustin's gonna climb down again.
Alright.
Oh my god. Remember that we don't listen to any advice provided by these cryptic thingies. Never again.
Next time,
I
just
mean,
push the button.
it would be the first time you listen to any any cryptic messages.
Yeah, and look where that took us.
To be honest, this seems to be par for the course for these. The messages haven't been useful at all, ever.
And
Is any one of us lithe enough to push through that gap, Stefan?
Varys.
Yeah, I would.
Or Dusted. Dusted. He's
Malvis doesn't
Wait.
doesn't eat, so that's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of you could probably squeeze through it sideways if you took your backpacks off. None of you are wearing plate armor or anything, so you could manage to squeeze through, yes.
Really, really big horns.
Okay, Dustin is gonna try to sort of slam to one of the doors. So the left one, put his shoulder into it and try to slam it aside.
Here, take guidance. Want to?
Could have done that for the strength.
On your own.
In
help
this
him.
case,
I help him.
I'm not
I
gonna.
help him. I help him and I give him guidance.
Okay, then both of you roll a strength check for me, please.
Nah, I give him an advantage. He's better than me at this.
But no, we're the same.
Oh, all right. Then I fuck. I get inside.
And then I'm just gonna add this from my inspiration. Thank you very much. 23.
Okay, so you
Thank you.
on a strength check on your own, you need a 25 to push the doors open.
But he has guidance.
On a strength check with two of you, you need 20.
Oh, that doesn't make sense. Okay.
Because none of you have got the strength to shove the doors. You need to have a minimum 15 strength, and none of the party have got 15.
Using inspiration, I think Dustin just got it.
23 is plus 2 is 25 on the button. As you heave and
okay.
groan, the door you hear as the stone grinds and the door slowly manages to open.
Only the left side, though.
Enough. It's good enough.
It bumps against the stone wall on the interior.
I will say this. It doesn't look like anybody has come here before us.
Finally,
That was rather impressive.
Finally, the light from outside spills into the entrance, across the floor of a very small corridor ahead of you, and into a large chamber beyond. Vargo goes running into the sunlight.
Yes.
As he looks around, dominating the center of this shrine is an imposing statue of a giant snail. The intricately carved features of the snail are almost mesmerizing as they capture the essence of this unique creature. Instead of traditional antennae, the snail's head is adorned with 5 pseudopods, each ending in what appears to be like a club made of rock.
Do I recognize this creature, DM?
Roll
Nature, bolos?
either one. Or give me either one.
Alright, I will go with nature. That will be a 15.
A 15. Okay, let me finish my passage first.
Oh, sorry.
The statue itself stands as a testament to the craftsmanship and creativity of its creator, having stood the test of time, unadorned by any of the decay that you've seen from the outside walls. The details almost bring the snail to life as you gaze upon it and you recognize it as a flail snail. As you gaze along and take in the rest of the chamber, you notice along the walls 6 iron keys that hang in small niches above stone plinths. Each key possesses its own distinct design, showcasing unparalleled artistry that went into their creation. The keys almost appear to hang patiently, waiting for their purpose to be fulfilled, perhaps representing some mystery waiting for you to unlock. Behind the 9-foot-tall statue in the center of the room, you notice a carved pedestal nestled within a wide alcove. It holds a keyhole, almost beckoning you. The keyhole is like a secret waiting to be revealed. As you are about to take a step forward, the sharp stench of decay wafts across your senses. And Vargo, your ears almost perk up at the sound of shuffling ahead as the dagger at your side begins to blare out loudly. Whop, whop, whop.
The what am I at my side?
The dagger of warning.
The dagger of alarm or warning, yeah.
Oh, okay.
As you stand there looking up from behind the 9-foot-tall snail, 3 creatures step out from behind the statue.
It was summoning a... really?
Sure. More or less humanoid, but they have mottled, decaying flesh drawn tightly across clearly visible bones.
Oh, 5.
Mostly hairless. They have sharp, jagged teeth and claws, and their eyes burn like hot coals in sunken sockets. You notice each creature has a small blue triangle tattooed on its forehead.
Ah, fuck it.
I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Alrighty.
Seeing as you are not surprised.
We expected to be assaulted in this tomb.
I actually didn't.
Oh, it moved me. It shouldn't move me.
After all the banging from outside, everyone is gone, isn't it? So that will then bring us to top of the round. Vargo, as you've stepped in front, over to you, sir. You go first.
I will try casting a hypnotic pattern at them. That will be a wisdom saving throw if they are not immune to charm, which can be the case. I don't know.
Okay, let me have a quick look see, because I believe...
It might be a possibility.
So, hypnotic pattern, do you want to send it to the game log?
Sure. That will be a wisdom saving throw or become incapacitated.
Okay, as you cast, you create twisting patterns of colors of light that fill almost the entirety of the room. You are now concentrating on a spell, yes?
If it seems to be working, yes. If I see that it's not working, then no.
Okay. So,
But for the time being, yes, I'm concentrating.
for this round, indeed. All right. That brings us then to. Are you doing moving anywhere?
Yes, I'm backing up. I'm backing and exiting and say, cleric, cleric,
Priest.
priest. I like that more. Yeah, priest.
Okay.
Ponty.
As you cast your hypnotic pattern, you step out. You move out of the shrine. It is over to you, Yelena.
Okie dokie. She is gonna go running on into the one with the purple border.
The what? The
The one with the purple
creature.
border.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one.
Go on.
And then yeah, she's gonna just attack it because they seem aggressive and maybe dead.
I don't know. Go ahead and.
If one of her attacks hit, she will use a first level smite.
Okay.
Um,
Oh. 17 plus 10. My god, that definitely hits.
why is it a plus 10? It should be plus 10 by. Oh, I guess it's a plus 2 sword.
It's a
Yeah.
+2 sword.
Yeah.
We are OP.
And then a smite, which is 2d8 or 3d8 if it's an undead.
Roll 3d8 for me.
There we go. 9 plus
Holy
22 points
moly.
of.
31.
Yes. And if it's not dead, she'll hack at it once more.
Okay. It is not dead.
Okay.
However,
It surely feels like it.
as you go running in and you stab forward with the sword, you almost cleave right through its stomach, and it looks down in surprise as it almost shudders, and you withdraw the sword ready for your second strike. It is on its last legs.
Very good. She looks very happy with herself as she goes in to hit again with a 23.
23 definitely hits.
9 points of damage.
And on your return swing, you manage to cleave the body of this undead creature, chopping it in two pieces as it falls to the ground. Dead. Anything
Not
else?
so bad. No, she'll shimmy back here just so that none of them go past.
Okay.
Cause yeah, and that's she'll end her turn there.
Alright, then that brings us up to Lunan.
Lunan hearing, what was it, priest?
Priest!
It's like, I'm a priest, but sure. Running up. And then sees what's going on and say, fuck. Grab my symbol of, or holding my shield, but also grabbing my symbol of Ayun. And give a small prayer and do turn undead / destroy undead, depending on their CR. I assume they are not gonna die from this.
They are a CR2.
Yeah, then it's turn undead.
Okay.
I don't seem to be able to have that feature shareable in this, but I will copy paste it in here
That's interesting.
from this. I took from Roll20, so I assume it's correct. For my channel divinity, and there will be a wisdom saving throw, and I believe for me it's 16 now. For all the other
I am
things.
going to roll for each one of them, starting from the one in front of you and working clockwise.
And the last one, I assume, is still within 30 feet of me.
Well, he can hear you, so yes. They're all
Yeah,
within
he's 15
range.
feet. Fail, fail,
Fail.
fail.
Oh my goodness, I am rolling awful. All of them failed.
No, wait. Ghasts are technically they have turning defiance, so they have advantage. So these are the first two characters, so the yellow and the orange, which will run away, but the two others have balls again. And I only know that because I used Ghast for this exact reason in a recent game of mine.
I didn't even get to that. I was going to read them at their turn, so...
Okay, sorry.
Good point. Okay, so... So the third one then saves. Oh. And the fourth one then saves. So we've got...
Oh, it was 16 they had to beat, right?
Yes.
Oh, so the third one doesn't. Only one of them does. It's a 16.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought it was a 15. So let's do that.
It would be 8 plus proficiency plus
What's your wisdom?
wisdom.
Yeah.
So that's 8 plus 8.
Mm.
Okay. 16 it is, yes. So just the one manages. Of course, none of them have moved yet. It's not their turn. So anything else, Lunan?
Luna will say, focus on the right one and cast spiritual weapon next to him.
You're gonna
Here,
cast
I would
spiritual
like.
weapon now, yes? Let's get
Yes. And
Northwest, east? Where do you summon it? Northwest, east.
wherever you want to put it on that.
I'm trying to make the blinking. There.
Okay. Right in between there.
Like, and then let's slam.
Okay.
I just need to check off spell. Oh, that's a hit.
Oh, that is a hit.
For 9 of force damage.
9 points of force damage.
That's my turn.
Okay. Good turn. Which brings us to Dusted next.
Dusted pulls out his hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot move myself. Oh, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4 pushes himself past Jalena up to here and then tries to take a swing with the Warhammer.
Okay.
Trying to squeeze himself in between a rock and a hard place. A 14?
A 14 hits.
What? Okay. So that's 81, 8, 1d8 plus 1, and then 1d8 radiant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's 13 damage.
13. Okay.
And another swing.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is marked, but I miss probably. I don't think they have an armor class of 6 or something.
They do not, no. Anything else?
No, that's my turn.
Okay. Then that brings us to Valrus.
Yes. With that tired sigh, he takes a step forward and then
Fireball.
another step and then another step. Says some magic words and with a snap of the fingers and a flick of the wrist sends a firebolt at the one that Dusted tried to kill.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit for me, please.
Six.
That definitely hits.
For a good 14 damage.
Okay, and indeed, as you firebolt it, that's exactly that enough that it needs. As the firebolt engulfs the undead creature in flame, it almost drops to its knees and in a puff of flame falls over, keels over dead.
And then step back and he leans back against the wall.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it. Nope.
Okay. These three are turned, so each of them are going to run as far away as they can from Lunan as they move. Mind you, the furthest point from Lunan is going to be there. That is their turn. Let me just double check. So Lunan, you have to... That's 1 minute.
Yeah, I mean, at this point the battle is over. They can only dodge now.
Can only take... It can't take reactions, so really... No.
But if they take damage, they are no longer affected by it, so then they can take reactions again.
If
Okay.
there's nowhere to move, yeah.
I thought it persisted for some reason. Okay.
Yeah, if they take damage. Which brings us to Vargo. Vargo, standing outside the doorway, you notice that these creatures have been turned, but also your spell appears to not have any effect on them.
Slow have figured that much. I want to experiment on them. I will try Toll the Dead.
Okay.
On the one next to Dusted.
On the one next to Dusted. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wisdom saving throw, isn't it?
Correct. 15.
And
It's not already damaged, so that will be only 2d8.
he rolled an 11.
Then it failed, and it will take 13 points of necrotic damage. Does it appear to have taken the full impact of the spell?
Roll a Arcana check for me.
Alrighty. That will be a 20.
Oh, indeed, no, it does not.
Mm.
It appears to have taken some damage, but not only that, but the impact of the damage has also caused it to snarl and turn around, staring directly at you.
Alright. Embargo will make a mental note on that and go back outside.
Run away!
Lunan's like, oh, you
Actually,
woke it again.
actually, my movement only allows me to go up to the... Yeah,
Okay.
that's my turn.
You are no longer concentrating, by the way, if you want to drop that.
Yeah.
That brings us to Yelena.
She will. Which was the one that Vargo?
The one in
Aggro.
front of Dusted.
Oh, okay, that's fine then. She'll go and help Dusted finish off this one. She'll run on over there, and she will attack it twice.
Okay.
17.
That definitely hits.
With a 11.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And then second attack 14
That hits.
with 11 points of damage.
Nice. Nice. Okay. It is definitely wounded. I can't say it's bloody because there's no blood coming out of it.
That's
But
alright.
it appears to be very angry.
Perfect.
Anything
And
else?
Jelena just
That will be it. Thank you.
Alright, then that brings us to Luna.
Let's see how they like some holy fire. Sacred flame I cast on the one in the corner.
The one in the corner. That's a wisdom save, isn't it?
No, Dex.
A dex.
Dex 16.
Oh,
Oh,
hmm.
he fails by 1. Damn.
so that's 8 radiant.
8 radiant. 8 points is exactly what he was on. As you sacred flame him, he drops to the ground just in front of Dusted.
Nice.
What else?
I'm saying, Dusted, go for the next one. And I send my sacred weapon here and attacks. Try to attack this guy
Okay. I'm gonna say the weapon is
if I
hovering
can.
just above the pedestal. Go ahead and roll an attack. An 11 unfortunately misses.
Like that. But that also means it didn't take any damage.
Correct. So is that your turn?
Yep.
Right then, that brings us up to Dusted.
Well, since it didn't take any damage and there's no difference about how they're both being turned, so when Lunan yelled, hit the next one, Dustin is not quite sure what he meant.
Okay.
So he's just gonna walk up there and try to strike. Just a second. The left one.
Okay. Crisscross it is. Go ahead and roll an attack for me.
Oh yeah.
That unfortunately is a miss with a natural 1.
Yeah, so they have advantage against hitting me next turn. I'm gonna hit again. Or try to anyway. A 14.
A 14 hits.
Okay, and I'm gonna deal. We agree they were undead, right?
Yes.
So 7 bludgeoning and 5 radiant.
12 points, yeah.
And it's marked, so if it hits anyone else than me, it does so with disadvantage. But it hits me with advantage anyway, so why would it?
It's no longer for. Yeah.
So it cancels out, is what you're trying to say.
Only no. With me, he still gets advantage, but he gets a disadvantage on anyone else than me, as long as he's within 5 feet of me. So even if he runs around to Jelena, yeah.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Alright, then that brings us to Valrus.
Aim trick again. Steadies his hand and goes for the one on the left side to not hit Dusted.
Okay, go
So
ahead and roll an
if
attack
anything, it's gonna be the spiritual weapon. 13.
13 is just what you need to hit it as you
Ah.
firebolt
Oh wow!
across the room, slams into this agitated ghoul for 15 points of
15 damage.
That's pretty
Good rolls.
Yeah. Okay, it's definitely wounded. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Then that brings us to the undead. He only gets 1 attack. I mean, I should have put 10 in this room.
Yeah, we brought a cleric. We cheated. God.
As it turns around, Dusted, and sees you attacking it, as well as the spiritual weapon, it is going to go for you, its aggressor, as it lunges with its claws towards you. It gets a
Yeah.
13. Well, that's a miss, isn't it?
It has advantage because I rolled a 1, so it should roll again.
Oh, yeah, of course, beauty. Oh, it gets a 12.
Oh! Dustin manages to hide behind the pedestal as as it tries to claw at him. I guess.
That brings it to the end of its turn, which means it's over to you, Jargo.
I will try the firebolt on the one on the left.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit for me, please.
Yep, that will be a miss, probably.
An 11 is a miss, unfortunately, yes. As it slams
And-
in near the spiritual weapon into the corner of the room.
I was being careful not to shot Dusted by mistake. That will be my turn.
Okay, that brings us to Yelena. Yelena, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw for me, please. As you're
Yep.
standing next to Dusted, the stench and decay surrounding you almost seems to overwhelm your senses as you're like, ugh.
Dusted,
Wait,
you need to take a
next to
shower.
Dustin. Next to Dustin or next to the ghast? Wait a second.
Dustin just smelled very bad today.
The way the DM said was clear. I'm just standing next to Dusted.
In this room, it's quite difficult to tell, but the stench of decay coming from where Dusted is pretty horrific. Standing downwind is bad for your health. Holding your breath, what are you going to do?
I mean, I'm off in the jungle. What do you expect?
If she were to attack from where she is, does the ghast have cover? Because there's like a bit of wall in the way between her and the ghast.
I'm gonna say no. Dusted isn't going for the same one, so his weapons are currently going across his body. So you've got quite an easy gap, and you've got a short sword.
Okay, yeah, she'll go for the pink one.
Okay.
Give it a good old piece of her mind.
Good old trusty.
Yes. A 13.
That's exactly what you need to hit. Jesus, with a 3 you managed to... 11 points. Okay. It is still standing, by the way.
It's still standing.
As it takes a slash in the back, it turns around.
She'll
gets-
smite with this one.
Okay, and gets hit square in the chest with a 17.
Just a first level smite.
Okay.
Oh boy, that was abysmal.
Still 21 points though.
Yeah.
That's still 32 points of damage total. Wow.
It is definitely not looking good as the smite engulfs its body and it's like, "Ah!" It's just realized what has happened and turns around and looks at you with red, beady little eyes that almost convey the hunger in its maw. It's going to eat you next, Yelena.
No, you don't eat me. Dusted is a lot more tasty. He might smell a little bit though. You could
What is this?
season.
What is this? Is this the troll and the 3 goats? What the fuck?
Anything else, Yelena?
That will be all. Yes.
That means you're the more strong and powerful.
Which brings us
I don't.
to...
I surely don't feel that way.
Over to you, priest.
First off, spiritual weapon attack straight ahead.
Mm-hmm. That
For
definitely
a
hits.
hit. 10 force damage.
10 points. Which one were you going for? The orange
The one that I can see the colors now, but the one Dusted was hitting.
Alright.
Yeah.
That is enough to down it.
Awesome. So the machete just sweeps its head off.
As it falls to the ground and almost rolls into a corner and comes to a rest, the body follows it down.
I'm gonna move up to shoot the firebolt without having to aim through Dusted. For my action. Oh, he's dead.
Oh,
That's
20.
That's minimum 22 points of damage.
Yeah, with a firebolt, I mean, it's the last guy, and as you fire your firebolt across the room, it almost slams into his gaping mouth, trying to consume Yelena in front, and swallows
Eat this.
what appears to be a small speck of fire that then explodes outwards. Dusted, you get covered in blood, guts, and gore as the corpse of the undead creature in front of you just almost seems to explode in front of you, sideways into your body.
It really is Dusted that smells now.
It's you bastard.
Just for fun, I want to see the total damage.
Go ahead.
So 27.
27. Pretty much, Yelena, as you kind of turn and spray from the corpse, flies across the room. Whew. That was a smelly encounter. And I think we should take our break.
Alrighty.
Let's call it 10 minutes.
Sure.
Yep.
Half past. We'll see you guys back in 10 then, shall we?
Yes.
Yes. See you guys in.
Okay. Who are we still waiting for?
I think we just need Axel, right? Or is Axel back? Oh, he's there, yeah. Never
I'm
mind.
hearing you. I just didn't have my hands free on mute.
No problem.
And seems to be Barris and Derlina.
Yeah, I was just finishing making some tea.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well then, welcome back everybody. So, after a small battle inside the Shrine of Unkh, our party now stand victorious in a stench-filled room. Corpses of 5 undead litter the floor. Well, 4 and lots of pieces.
This doesn't seem good. Can I recall seeing that symbol, the triangle, elsewhere?
Oh.
I don't think so, but
Roll. I'm gonna say you need to roll an intelligence check and you need to get a 22.
alrighty. Let's see. There you go.
Oh boy.
Bloody hell. Okay, well, well done. You have actually, yes. In your travels in the jungle, some of the undead hordes that you were racing away from when you were crossing from Kirsabal across the plains, across the basin, the Aldani Basin, there were hordes of undead that were chasing you, and littered in amongst some of those undead, as well as the undead from the outside, the mummy Pernan Tiggerhunt, you recognized some of those also had the blue triangle symbol on their foreheads.
These seem to have been brought back by Rasnasi, don't they? I say, pointing at the triangle thingy. It might be a sign that he has already been here? I don't know.
There was keys on each of the statues or the things along the.
Yeah, so there are little carved niches in the walls, and above the pedestals, those little stone things, there hangs a key on above each one.
And out in the temple, there was positions without keys as well, right?
Which temple?
The mini temple outside where we found the keys.
Oh yeah, let's call it the shed outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were keys hanging on hooks outside as well.
But there were also empty hooks.
No.
Okay.
All of the hooks were filled. Were complete.
Maybe contrast. I mean, I had a thought. Maybe it's bullshit. But how many antennae has the snail?
5.
Ah, that's a number.
What was the story again with the snail, though?
With the snail, we know that. Let's see. Let me pull out my.
It's something that at the end of like everyone is fighting each other except the snail, who does something on its own.
The snail doesn't fight with nobody. That's true. Who has the story written? I don't have those notes with me. Okay.
It's something with it makes Uktao cry because that's what stops the whole sort of like dry spell. That it makes him cry, but I don't know how it does it.
What if the door, the entrance, was an allegory to make us not think too much about it and just try the keys?
I mean, you can just try the keys here. I mean, it's just.
I'm going to pick the 5th key, and if nobody stops me, I'm going to try to put it in the hole.
Which hole?
The keyhole.
Where's the keyhole?
You mentioned there was a keyhole in the statue, didn't you?
On the pedestal.
Oh. On the one on the pedestal then.
Yeah. The 5th key, yes?
Yep.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me, please.
Alrighty. What happens to me tonight? 13.
Alright. As you pick the 5th key, close to where Yelena is standing, you pick it up and it is a little bit of a different shape to any key that you've seen before. It's almost got like a hooked tooth on it. You carry it over to the pedestal and you insert the key. And you turn it?
Yes.
As you turn it, you hear a small tick. And then the statue of Unkh in the center of the shrine, a small grinding appears to sound. And then from one of its tentacles, one of its antennae, dazzling rays of light all of a sudden shoot out in all directions within the shrine. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Remember, you get a +4 if you're near me,
Within 10 feet.
within 10 foot.
Oh,
Yes.
in that case, I'm going to use my reaction DM to add +4 to that save.
Okay.
It might be enough.
You need a dex save of 18 to
In
pass.
in that case, I suffer the consequences of my actions.
Oh boy.
Okay. Everyone within a 30-foot radius that is within the room. Oh, well, that's pretty
Yes.
crappy. If you failed, you take 14 points of damage. If you save, you take 17. It is radiant damage.
Ouch.
So wait, we take more damage? Sorry, what? I didn't catch it. 17 damage?
You
14.
you take 7 points. Dustin.
Oh, 7. I heard 17. Sorry, that was why I was like, wow, okay.
30-foot radius around
From the statue.
from the statue. Okay.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Radiant rays blast every inch of this room.
Well, at least now we know it's not the 5th one. I put it back in.
Okay.
We all take 14.
The snail blinded Utao and made him cry. Something like that.
The ones that saved take 7,
Correct.
which is Darlena, Dusted, not Barris, unfortunately.
Yelena and Dusted, yeah.
Sorry. I'm just tired of thinking.
Question is, do we think that even if we solve this puzzle,
I mean, we don't have an option, no? We have to be sure that there is no cube in case there isn't.
okay. So what did the message outside say again? Contrast.
Unkh urges us to contrast all options before acting.
Okay. Contrast is light, right? So we are punished by light when we did it wrong. The key, was there anything special about the key you took, the 5th one?
It had something of hooky thingy on it. Here, take it, and I throw it to him.
You notice that the key itself has got one particularly long tooth on it.
Is it a recognizable animal or something?
No, it's a key, but you know if you look at a normal key...
Oh, like that. Okay, yes.
It's got lots of little teeth in order to turn the tumblers inside the lock.
Oh, so it only has one of those.
Yeah.
Dustin's gonna run the nearest one, which I guess is here, and pick that one out. The first one, and then put them on top of it. Put them on top of each other.
Yes.
So the one key fits on top of the other, and the key you pick up, Dusted, you notice it doesn't have a hook. It's got a little, almost a semicircle for a tooth.
Oh.
And as you put the key on top of each other, they almost line up next to each other, so that the hook and the circle seem to form some sort of a pattern.
Could we maybe use all the 6 keys to do this, and then make a key out of that? If each of them has a little tooth, could we perhaps make a key out of 6 keys?
Alright, let's take all 6 keys and describe their forms. Okay, so hook. The number so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 5 has a hook. Number 1 has a semicircle.
Number 2 has got a very short straight line. Number 3 has got a T shape on it. Number 4
Number
has,
4.
Number 4's got a semicircle, but the opposite side of a semicircle to the other one. And when you put them on top of each other, they almost clip together to form a full circle. And number 6 has got a T-shape, but the opposite way. So when the keys sit on top of each other, they form a floating square.
So the only ones that are special are the hook and the short straight line.
Luna,
No, because the hook is the opposite of the short straight line.
Luna,
A hook
you
is-
roll a perception check for me, please.
Perception.
Yeah. Are you all working together on this?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yelena would try her best, but this is probably beyond her.
Lunan, as you gaze upon the shape with a 22, you recognize it is almost the exact same pattern that you've seen on one of those polished keys that was hanging in the little outhouse that you put on the ground.
Of all 6 together, or 2 of them? All 6.
When all 6 keys are placed on top of each other.
Yeah, I get it. Lunan has
Did you take those keys with you, or you left them outside on the ground?
oh, he was like, "Ooh!" and then he runs out and starts digging in the mud.
You look in the dirt and you notice the head of one of the keys has got the exact same pattern. A floating square next to a circle with a short straight line running in between the two of them.
He goes in and say, "Try this one, but this time, let's not all stand in the room."
Alright, I will take the risk.
Oh, nice. How much hit points have you got?
39.
Oh, even
I
better.
can go all night.
Dustin was gonna suggest that he do it.
Especially since we have mage hand that could do it.
Bollocks. I rolled
Yeah,
a
exactly.
6.
Vargo with his mage hand.
How is 30 feet range or 60? I don't remember.
It has 30
30.
feet range.
Yeah.
And I have to be inside the room.
Exactly.
And
So-
You cannot get 30 feet away from the pedestal and 30 feet away from the statue anyway.
Yep.
No.
So if you are all scared of, I can do it. I don't mind.
No, I'm gonna stay here in case the statue comes to life.
I will take.
starts-
I will take the finger of death. I'm not afraid.
Okay.
Let's try. Let's try that
all
one.
exit the room, you leave Vargo, the only human without innate dark vision, on his own inside this half covered.
No, I haven't left.
at his request,
Yeah.
I can pull on my glasses of dark vision.
All
Googles
right.
of night.
Dusted hangs out in the back of the room near the doors as the rest of you hang back. Listening intently.
I love how Lunan is on top of Yerlena, like carry me far away if something explodes.
Vargo, with a key in hand, trusting to Lunan's perception.
I never doubt, not for a
You
second. I
slide
put it inside and rotate it.
And you turn it. It clicks once, and then almost jumping free of your hand, it clicks a second time. The pedestal in front of you almost begins to grind around on the spot as the statue behind you, you can hear turns in unison. And as the pedestal begins to rotate clockwise, the Unkh snail behind begins to rotate counterclockwise. The surface of the pedestal seems to almost open up and from down below, as it turns, an ornate stone cube corkscrews
Hey,
from the concealed hatch in its surface to rest at a stop on the top.
it worked. It worked. Lunan, I believe you deserve this one.
Oh, nice. I already have one in my backpack, but maybe they can.
We all have one in our
We-
backpacks, so
We have to figure out if there's anyone that like to be together.
Well, this one didn't fight with
that's
anyone, did it?
interesting. I love it. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. I mean, the snail, Unkh, didn't seem to be particularly in bad terms with nobody.
No.
So I suggest we put him together with some of the conflicting ones, like Sagambi and Papasotl.
Did we write down who has what?
Yes, Sagambi.
Yeah, I think so.
It's in back of holding in Discord.
No,
Red
none
has
of them are in bag of holding.
Dusted has Shagambi. I have Wongo. Yarlena has Ijin. Barris has Rubasan. And
Bazan.
and Lunan has Papasotel.
Yeah.
Papasotel is a cool name.
Mm.
Name of a DJ.
Is it really?
I don't know, but if I become a DJ in the future, I will be DJ Papasotel. In Spanish, has a nice ring to it.
Okay. Alright, Papa.
No, please don't say that.
No.
I'm not-
Oh, that,
don't say that.
yeah.
Alrighty.
So, should I take Unk or someone else wants it?
I mean, Dustin's gonna take it if no one else volunteers.
Take it, Dusted.
Give it
Take
to
it.
Papa
Go ahead.
first.
Go ahead.
All right.
Just don't put it in the bag of holding, please.
So now we're
We like-
putting Unk together with which one?
Shagambi.
Shagambi. Okay. Okay. Let's see what happens. They both seem to have a lot of eyes. Docs.
I'm willing
They
to
both
think
have
that
tentacles.
they are neutral to each other. That's right. They both have tentacles.
Mm.
That might make
But
them friendly.
instead of putting me in the backpack, I have a money pouch that I carry that I picked up a while ago. When which we haven't split up yet. There is 4 platinum in it, and Dustin's just gonna put it down there. So they're still in separate sort of like containers.
Okay. But you're carrying 2 cubes now, yes?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Alrighty.
As you
That's-
squeeze the cube into your money pouch, it almost doesn't fit. Nothing else
Mm.
happens when you close your pouch.
Alrighty. You didn't explode. That's
You did not
that's good.
explode.
Yet.
And I didn't grow snakes out of the back of my head, so I guess.
Correct. You do still smell though.
Well, snakes at the back of your head might be useful.
Alrighty. So
Right.
next,
Hey, eyes looking behind you.
I want to exit this temple as soon as we can, please. I hate it in here. Plus, it smells pretty bad.
Can we go outside and it smells the same?
Oh, watch it, Valorous. Watch it. Next time you can fight the gas up close while I stand behind and fire long, bro. How about that?
Barris, did you take prestidigitation by any chance? No,
I
not.
did, but Dust didn't.
Oh.
Dusted doesn't deserve it.
If the cat would allow, I may clean him up from the guts.
But only the guts.
I mean, it's magic. How are you going to explain it to him? You either do it or you don't. So
Yeah.
that's on you. That's not on me.
The swift motion. There's like a gust of wind, and all the guts and gore seem to
Great. It's the
Fly,
fly
fly.
off.
fly towards Erlena. I understand.
What the? How rude.
We are teleporting now. We unlock teleport.
I can't see the map. Can you?
You
Neither
you sent us to Kirsebal and now back to Umo. But what problem you're having right now, if you don't see it, is the same one I have every time almost. It's when there is some problem with loading.
I've just refreshed. Yeah, now it's working.
Yeah, refreshing seems to take care of all those things.
For me, it doesn't always because I think it kind of eats up the memory of in some way, shape, or form, and then everything gets screwed up. And then I have to change browser.
Ah, okay. Well, in my instance, fortunately, it's worked. Okay, so we've changed
Awesome.
back to Omo, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. And you remove the ring, and now we can put a check.
I'm on it. Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
I accidentally removed the ring, sorry.
No, but
Delete that.
it's good.
No, I did it.
Oh, okay, good. Phew.
Don't worry. That's an ugly check.
Okay.
So, anyone want to fly over the lava?
We have this one first, but yeah, if you haven't noticed, I want to go to that one. Yes, especially.
Right, so, cube in hand. You head for the
Oh no,
exit.
Cuban backpack, Cuban
Cube in
backpack.
money pouch. You head for the exit. As you pass through the stone doors looking ahead to your next destination, about 45 feet in the distance, just past the two obelisks, a delegation of 3 figures awaits you. 2 of them casually lean against the walls, snake heads gazing upwards,
Okay.
while a dark-skinned Chultan woman wearing a yellow shawl that flaps in the breeze with the body of a serpent coiling around her sees you and tips her head, and then almost opens her arms and her palms to show she has no weapons in hand, and beckons you beckons you closer towards her.
How far away are we now? How far away are they?
45
Within
feet.
within fireball distance.
You're
If
45
I
feet
had,
away.
If I put my hand on Vargo's shoulder and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
I very not loudly. The opposite. Sorry, English. What's the opposite of loud?
Quietly.
Quiet.
Buy it quietly. I say thank you. We might need it.
13.
Oh,
I,
I'm
I
almost
maxed.
full. Thank you very much.
The woman stands in between these 2 snake-headed, let's call them bodyguards.
No. Keep it to you, Lunan. I have
I
one
gave
point
it
left.
to myself. I gave myself 12.
Ah, okay.
Her serpent tail almost coiling around her as it slithers and moves.
We're not going to go near them, right?
No, but might be worth try speaking to them. We are lacking information. Although,
Hmm.
if I go crazy, just take it as a sign that they have enchanted me some way.
I see.
Come, friends. Please, greetings. My name is Fenthaza. I come with a proposal, an offer of employment.
We're already employed.
We are undertaking an employee, as my friend said here, yeah? Who are you? Yeah, Fenthasa, but who are you?
I am High Priestess of my people. I wonder if you would spare me some of your time. Let us not say employment then. I have a proposition for you. As you can see, I come unarmed.
To the two Yonti, snake people, seem unarmed.
They do have curved blades at their hips, but they're leaning with their backs against the walls, arms crossed, seemingly without a care in the world, looking up at the birds flying. Actually, sorry, there's no birds. Looking up at the breeze and the trees rustling.
I'm afraid it's not the weapons I'm afraid of.
She's speaking in
Spellcasters.
Common, by the way.
In what? Sorry?
Spellcasters. Why must you make things so difficult? And Dusted sort of like takes his rapier and his hammer and then just tosses them to the ground. And then just starts walking towards her.
What are you doing? Do you walk towards every random woman you meet in the middle of nowhere?
No, but standing here shouting at each other will probably rail more suspicion. If the woman is here,
Of course,
you
of
are
course.
shouting. You are shouting 45 feet.
We take all the precautions in the world for opening a door. But when we come face to face with a Yuan-Ti, you go just straight to her. Fine. I walk with Dustin.
Careful, don't put the key in the non-magical door, it might be trapped!
No, I didn't stop you putting the keys in the door. Remember?
Oh, I'm walking with you just out of spite. to the lady. Yeah.
Yeah, we can get like 5 feet from her and continue shouting.
It's so typical spellcasters to stand on so far away from each other shouting.
How much is 45 feet? Let's see.
45
13
feet
meters. 13 meters. It's not that much. It's reasonable.
How far is it?
13 meters.
That's
from
fine.
13 to
that's not
15
that
feet.
Meters? What are you talking about? It's 9 squares.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a long way.
What's a meter? All right. I walk with Dusted just because.
Dustin dropped his weapons, right? Yarlena will pick them up.
No,
Shake her head.
I haven't dropped all my weapons. I haven't dropped all my weapons, just the big
Exactly.
ones.
Yeah,
No,
she'll pick
I love
them
it.
up, shake her head, and tut. What a waste.
So, Valrus, you've casted Mage Armor.
Yes.
Lunan, you Cure Wounds.
Yeah, on myself and on Vargo.
Okay.
Valrus cast
picking up
Fireball.
weapons as as Dusted and Vargo begin to walk towards her. Correct? Is anyone doing anything else?
Quietly
think you're-
hobble behind them.
Yeah,
I
Yarlena
would-
will follow them after picking up the weapons.
Luna would wanna try to read Dusted to see if he's acting his normal a bit rash self, or is if he might have been affected by something.
Okay. I would say perception,
Insight? maybe?
or insight even, yes.
I didn't look it up.
Dustin is definitely affected by magic, probably.
And I've sent a picture of her to the chat.
Hmm. Oh,
Oh no, it's
Nice
just
abs.
Yanti everywhere.
So
All right.
Buster was affected by her beauty.
Yep.
most likely, yeah. As you slowly approach her, you see her smile and nod, and then slowly
Dustin.
puts her arms down. I have no wish to harm any of you. I merely wish to talk.
You won't be surprised when we don't quite believe that. A lot of things have tried killing us in this place.
Lunan,
But
where are
she's
you
the
standing?
first.
Lunan, have you started going closer?
I am following 10 feet behind Dusted, let's say 8 feet behind Dusted-ish.
Okay, so that would be just behind Yelena, or just in front?
Uh, whoop, my computer almost is dying. Now it has power.
So I've got Dusted and Vargo in the front, and Valorous at the back.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then Yelena and Lunan in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, Dusted and I are in the front, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We were going to talk with her.
My... let's call them my scouts. They've come across the mess that you left at those Red Wizards compound. And including the bodies of some of our companions. Many of them demand blood for blood. But to be honest, they have been hesitant to engage and test your battle prowess ever since the quick, swift demolition of the King of Feathers. But upon seeing you struggle with a simple stone door to a small shrine, I thought perhaps it is time that I approach you with my proposal. We have been keeping an eye on you for some time. In fact, since you have arrived in our beautiful, unspoiled city. And we understand that you are looking for these cubes from the shrines.
When she mentions the Reswas and the auntie, Yolanda's gonna lean over and very quietly as she can, say to Lunan, I don't remember killing any auntie when we killed the Red Wizards.
Me neither.
Did we do something wrong?
Think so. They tried to kill us. They just failed, where we succeeded.
Very true.
There. I may as well tell you, because when you entered the wizard's compound, there were bodies lying all over the place of
Yeah.
UNT and Red
Mhm.
Wizards.
Mm, yeah.
But
Yeah, I remember there
those,
being bodies, but I couldn't remember killing any auntie.
We
yeah,
didn't. But
Oh, we didn't. But they
I
think
will
we did.
I will point that out to there. I think you might be mistaken. We indeed enter in battle with the Red Wizards, but we didn't kill any Chanti. But it's true that we found bodies of them in the compound.
The two bodyguards either side of her begin to. And she almost looks at the two out the corner of her eyes and snaps her fingers, and they stop talking and almost bow their heads to her and keep quiet again. And take their lazy, nonchalant poses against the wall. It is impressive that you are easy to be honest with me. I appreciate the honesty.
I have no reason to lie. None of us has a reason to lie.
And neither do I. I believe that this would be the beginning of a fruitful relationship. Let us call it a business relationship. My proposal I am offering. I know the location of 2 of these cubes. In return, I require your services. I am in need of a lost jewel that resides beneath the place that you seek. You see, we have a traitor in our ranks. An outsider, if you will. He has become erratic of late and obsessed with death. I fear he will be the end of us.
Are you talking about Rasnasi?
Oh shit!
She stops looking, and at his name, the other 2 almost, you can see their shoulders begin to like roll as that name gets their backs up, and the stress of his name out loud almost begins to piss them off. And they're not very good at hiding their displeasure of Raznazi. So, it appears that you are well informed. Yes, this outsider has, how do you say, forced his rule on us. We are peaceful folk, you know. We like to stick to our own. And if you are as well informed as you appear to be, you know that our Lord Raz is not a true UNT. He does not
He's
belong.
not.
No. Many
He
years
is.
ago,
He's a Chultan,
Uh-huh.
or what was the city called? The fabled city. He was a
Mesra?
Mesro. So he's a Mesruin. He's not a UNT
He
because
undergo
all the other, what are they called?
transformation.
Yeah, exactly.
are you saying this out loud to them? You must
Uh,
be.
the Dustin is just pointing out that that it is unlikely because all the Bashra were human as he understood it.
Indeed, your Tabaxi friend speaks true. Is that not, Masharu? And she touches her forehead, her lips, and opens her palm to you, almost as in a gesture of respect.
That's. Sorry, go ahead.
The Yuan Ti speaks wise words. He obviously knows the history of his country. Yes, Raznazi was once human and underwent an ungodly transformation using his powers from whence they came. He turned his back on his faith and has now sought to supplant himself in our hierarchy. And I am afraid to say he is leading us into destruction.
How so, exactly?
Well, there are lots of inner workings in the politics, but it goes without saying that our faith is what would guide us in the past. We are not war-mongering people, but we do not take kindly to having to share our livelihood with the undead that Raznazi has brought with him. They are a poison to our city. Look at them. You have just encountered the ones that he has left roaming around here. Every day they reclaim more of the jungle, our home. And it is this abomination that is responsible for the undead that roam the land. He's a masochist and has the blood of countless thousands of bodies and my kind on his hands.
Do you want us to find the jewel?
What I am offering in exchange for the jewel that I seek are 2 of these cubes that you are looking for. They are in the possession of Raznazi.
That will be a reasonable prospect.
May I
I think
ask what this jewel is for?
Well, it is a crown of position. As the High Priestess, I was once commander of my people. It was taken from us by Raznazi and thrown into the depths of the tomb that lies here in Omu. Without it, my people will not follow me. It is a station.
which tomb are you referring to? It's that inside your walls?
No. It is the secret tomb that is located here. I have not been inside, but it is the tomb that Raznazi guards.
But you know the entrance?
We have come across the entrance, yes. It is at the far end of one of the walkways that you have actually passed near the Colosseum.
That thing is not a rock. That thing is an entrance.
Yes.
I think he's referring to these 2 thingies.
Why not this, if it's on the end of the walkway?
Ah, that's true. May as well be.
Which 2 thingies?
Those, I thought they were rocks. This
Ah,
one and this one.
they are not.
Oh, okay.
You scurried past them in a rush to get to the waterfall, but they were carved obelisks.
Hmm. Fantasia was your name, right?
Fanthaza.
All right. My name is Bargo. We are the Fortune's favored, and currently trying to work to get this land rid of all those undead. So at least in that front, our interests seem to align. But up until this point, we thought that the UNT as a whole were behind this situation. It's certainly refreshing to learn that that's not the case. Will you be able to sit in a position of power if we help you take down Rasnasi?
With the crown in my possession, I will once again be elevated to leader of my people. As
Is
the
the
High
crown that has granted what's his face?
Rasnasi?
Raznazi and the current place in power?
Raznazi has not taken the crown, but let me say, as punishment for speaking out against him and being usurped, he took the crown, split the hierarchy of power amongst my people, taking the military might with him and supplanting me, confining me to the religious leader, the spiritual leader of my people, whereas before, spiritual and military were one.
Question, DM?
Yeah.
Is UNT matriarchal?
How many UNT have you encountered?
Not
Zero?
many.
I have no idea. I'm just like, the way she speaks about it was like, okay. It sounds like there's some other things going on there as well.
There seems to be some politics going on, you are correct, yes.
Okay.
For starters, I think we may be in need of some more information if it's not a problem with you, before we can compromise ourselves and our lives to helping your cause. Will that be alright?
Certainly, I am at your pleasure.
Alright. By the way, and I say, looking at the others, if you have questions, feel free to. How did you know we were here? That's the first thing I would like to know.
I have spies. They're stationed across my city. As does Raznazi.
That's to be expected.
Of course. My spies and scouts have been following you since your arrival.
And what makes you so sure that we are not being watched right now? Is this not a risk for you and your people?
Raznazi does not leave the palace. The temple underneath the crumbling palace that is here in Omu. Raznazi's spies at the moment are out on patrol elsewhere. I have seen to it.
Alright, good to know. Can I ask you how are the Red Wizards involved in this?
As much as I know, they have also been on the hunt for these cubes. They arrived some time ago in Omu. I would say 3 weeks prior to your arrival.
I haven't made a lot of progress.
Indeed, they have not, which is also a reason why I am approaching you.
They had two of them, but we took them from the Red Wizards. Are you informed enough to confirm if there are more Red Wizards in Omu at the moment? Or did we take care of all of them?
The Red Purge enters our city every day looking for the cubes and looking for the secrets that they hold. And every day my scouts encounter them.
Oh,
I
okay.
have the one that escaped your clutches in my dungeon.
Okay. Say hello to that one. Managed to survive us. No many people do that.
Unfortunately, he has no tongue. He won't be able to say hello back.
Ah.
Perhaps you can pass on your own condolences when you meet him, if you take up my offer.
All right.
You meet him in my dungeon. Sorry.
I was thinking the same. When he said, when you meet him, I was like, what?
No, I wasn't saying that.
This might be a bit unrelated, but what about the gargoyles? We were attacked by some of them last night. Is there a way to avoid them? They seem to be everywhere.
The gargoyles are not controlled by us, but they are a necessary evil, you know? They keep the peace in the skies above, and they ensure that we have no flying spies around.
They don't work for anyone in particular.
No,
Themselves.
they are an independent force. This is true.
Are you
Wait,
willing
don't we actually know that the gargoyles were sort of partially controlled by the evil Cockroach at one point?
No, they were in battle.
Ah, okay.
because they fly?
Yeah.
I love them. Okay. I have to ask for a particular company, the Yellow Banners. You might recognize them by their yellow banners. Sorry, it's true. They don't have
Yes.
anything else that despicable among them. Did your people happen to encounter this folk by any means? I found, sorry, we found rest of what appeared to be an encampment.
There was a party of adventurers that did come through here. And indeed, some of Rasnazi's troops did encounter them, and they fled. They somehow managed to split themselves up, and one of them lies in my dungeon. Should I say Rasnazi's dungeon?
One of them. Can you describe this man for me, if you please?
He is human. He is pale. He does not have the color of the chosen people to him. I believe he is a soldier of some sort,
I
babbling about the
I
holy mission.
make an I make an illusion of my brother, DM.
Okay,
Does it that does is happens to be this one?
this is not him. No,
Oh,
he does not have your likeliness.
all right.
The one in our possession is one of the pointy ears. He is an elf.
You said that it was a human, but okay. Uh, all right.
Human elf, it's the same to a UNT.
Oh, didn't know that. All right. Um, for starters, this conversation has been pleasant. Thank you for approaching us in a civilized way. I I will be the first to admit that maybe I had some preconceptions about UNT.
This is understandable. If my opportunity for you is agreeable, then I would suggest that we move quite quickly. Krasnazi locks himself away in his secret chambers when the sun begins to set. Catching him during the day is a lot easier. He should be in audience with some of his advisors. Some minuscule brood. Nothing to worry about. But
If we were to accept, would you be able to lend some of your available forces to us?
most certainly, there would be a little charade that we would need to put on. Of course, you know. Rasnazi's interest in these cubes that you have been collecting would mean he would want to meet and speak with you or have an audience with you immediately. Of course, do not allow armed prisoners into our temple, but my
I would
guards could conceal some of your weapons on their person, and during the audience you could pounce, so to speak.
I wanna
DM,
Can I
I
roll
wanna
an
check
insight?
her.
DM, I ain't got exactly. Yeah. Can we make a group inside?
Yeah.
As soon as I you might be prisoners, we're all
No, I mean, to be fair, I was thinking of that from the start.
no, no.
This is the first time, I believe, in 52 sessions that you have asked to roll an insight check on somebody that you've met. Yes, by
We are
all
trusty
means.
folk. We are trusty
Our
folk. What do you
DM wouldn't lie to us.
Oh.
Never.
19. Not bad.
Oh boy, a 3.
Insight. Ooh, so close to a 20, but was instead
Well, Lunan and Fargo, I mean, Lunan, you smashed the hard difficulty, no problem at all. Fargo, you're quite close. As a group, you do pass on an average of, let's say, what, 15?
Barry St. Jelena, what happens with you today?
So-
You're rolling low.
I don't know.
You two were the
made one
most
high rolling
suspicious of
combat.
this. You were the most suspicious of this woman, so you should have been rolling high.
Oh, I just can't tell. I don't know.
what insight?
Snake
What is it
people are
that
hard to read.
what is it that you're trying to determine?
Honestly,
Mm.
if something
Is this a
between
trap?
the reaction of her guards, the demeanor of her talking seem to induce us that she might not be telling us the whole truth about this.
Okay. She's definitely truthful about the part where it is a charade. She's willing to smuggle you in the open, that you pretend to be prisoners. She hasn't told you what that would involve. But she is definitely truthful where she is confident she can put you in front of Raznazi and have your weapons around you so you'd be able to
At the ready, yeah.
grab them and attack him.
You wanted to do it straight away today.
Half of Raznazi's troops are scouting the jungles. The rest of
I look.
the troops in the temple are loyal to me. There will be no reinforcements that will come to aid Raznazi if a battle ensues inside his throne room.
Bargo looks at some point at the south, in the direction of the lava pit, and says, and mumbles, "Someday, I swear, someday."
You will still need the cubes. Don't worry.
Yeah. Honestly, Fantasia, this seems. Actually, no. We have to talk amongst ourselves. Will that be a problem? Give us a couple of minutes.
You have 10 minutes with my leave. Please. Discuss my proposal.
Alrighty.
Now, let me just ask, are you going to just stand in front of her and discuss this?
Shouting.
Yes.
I will invoke
No.
democracy again.
Lunan, with your 18, as you are taking this in, and of course with your insight check, you do in fact notice that there are at least 6 other UNT hiding just around the corner of the building and also concealing themselves watching the situation unfold. They haven't moved, but all eyes are almost watching to make sure that none of you try and attack whilst she is unarmed.
How many did you say?
6.
I saw 6.
Yeah. Plus the
Also
two
two.
bodyguards, so there is her plus 8 other UNT that you can see.
So as we
Father.
walking away a bit, I say, did you see the other guards hidden around? I counted
No,
at least 6 of them.
I didn't, but honestly, at this point, uh, does it matter?
Just make me aware. So you don't do anything rash.
I will say this. I will invoke democracy. This will be a group decision, of course. And I think that we are in need of an ally here in Omu.
True, but there is a reason why we have not found any allies so far. Everybody tries to kill us.
But as I said, she has been the only one that doesn't.
Yet,
Veggie pygmies were quite helpful. The Arakocra have been on our side.
that's true. The nice Arakocra were very good. The veggie pygmies, I find them disagreeable.
uh,
As for the auntie, I am not so sure.
I
We'll
have
be at their mercy
I have
if
to
we
say
went forward with this plan.
this is the first time. Has any of you ever encountered Yuan Tin in your past?
No.
No.
But it does not matter if they are auntie, if they are human, if they are Arakocra or I don't know, dwarf or gnome. I would not trust
They're
them
all
like this.
worse than the beauty of the elf, right?
Yes. You could not
I
trust anything that is not an elf. Or an eldrin. But not a fae. Don't trust a fae. That's stupid.
I mean, it might be her abs, but I trust her. I think.
She's been very forthright with what she's told us so far, it seems.
Yes. But when there is a deal, there is always a catch.
Well,
The catch
considering we
seems
don't
to
even know
be.
what these cubes do, her reward from this deal would be greater than what we would get.
I
No
mean,
master can be trusted. Just as long
in,
as you're aware of that, everything should be fine.
I mean,
Indeed.
that's true, but the catch seems to be pretty clear, no? We get rid of Rasnasi for her, and we get that crown back for her. That's her conditions.
Those are not necessarily the catch. It is likely we won't see the catch coming until it is too late.
Jarlen, I just want to make sure. This is a I don't trust anyone kind of situation for you.
Maybe.
Okay. I wanted to know if there was a particular reason to distrust this lady.
No. I do not mind going along with this plan, if the rest of you will want to.
Assuming that she's not lying about it and trying to catch us out, getting rid of Raznazi would only do good.
I mean,
Jeez.
As you said earlier, our goals are aligned.
guys, do you realize that we are not accustomed to people walking to us and talking in a nice way? we are growing more and more suspicious with this adventure.
No, I'm quite accustomed to people walking up to me and being kind, but not in the middle of a jungle that keeps trying to kill us.
We are in a city, not in a jungle.
This is
Or,
basically
this is a city in the jungle. I had to defer in Jarlena in this matter. All right.
The only enemies
Democracy.
that we have truthfully found in this city have been undead, the red wizards, and those flying statues on the rooftops.
the gargoyles. See,
That's
so
true.
far everything has tried to kill us here.
That's true. The King of Feathers wasn't even a menace. He was only minding his own business, and we killed him.
Mm-hmm. He was
Completely our own fault.
Yeah, exactly.
I invoked democracy here. Who wants to cast a vote first?
As I said, I do not mind going through this if everybody wants to.
Luna, do you have any thoughts about this?
I could need some new boots in case they betray us.
Why did I ask an elf? Why did I ask an elf? Why did I ask an elf? Dusted rubs his eyes. Why did I ask an elf? It's just.
Sorry, are you implying snakeskin boots?
Yes.
I'm aware of an Aarakocra who speaks like a Texan who might want in on that deal.
Maybe bring the crown to him as well.
The Yuan-Ti that's currently spying of us says, damn, damn, these people.
Let's just hope they don't catch on with the implication.
Oh my god.
You're all mad. You're all fucking mad. Jesus.
Lunan unleash.
So we
Alright.
can use the crown against them, you know, if they follow the crown.
We just put it on, and now we have an army of Yuan-Ti.
By the way, did you catch that she said Rasnasi was a masochist? I wonder what that means.
Did she?
She did, yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
I mean, do we roll initiative and cast our boats in that order?
Roll initiative.
Roll for democracy.
Firebolt Yuan-Ti.
Let's just go and kill this Rasnasi. How hard can it?
By the way,
Without-
Carolina, have you noticed that she has better abs than you do?
Yes, I know. There's no need to point it out.
They do seem to be a rather large race.
I suppose they have to use their upper body a lot, seeing as though they have a snake tail.
That must be very good for abs. Yeah.
What I would want to discuss is, if we do this, do we have a strategy in case they betray us?
No. But I will cry. She seems like a nice person.
To make a strategy for that, I believe we'd need to know all the details of what they have in mind.
I mean, we have a bazillion magic items with us. Which one of them will be useful in a we have to get out of here kind of situation? Or kill a lot of things kind of situation?
I haven't used my cape yet today.
Do we have two bags of holding? That's a nice red button.
That is quite a good idea, actually.
If
Yes,
No,
just kamikaze
no.
ourselves.
Well, at least we'd get our revenge.
By the way,
one thing we could potentially do is
fireball.
no. But if we're close to water, I can not only move. I don't only know how to walk on it. I've
I'm
tried to figure out how to control it a bit more. I could
I'm
make a big
Mhm.
splash.
That's good. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm seeing that we have a scroll of protection from undead. I suggest that if we are entering the layer of an undead master, we use it. How much last? How for how
how
long
long
does
does
it
it
last?
cost?
How long?
That's the question. I think it's in my inventory.
It is, yeah.
Uh, if someone else finds it before me, there it is.
So
I'm
did I
not
understand?
familiarized with the spell actually. Let me see.
Using an
Yeah,
action to read the scroll uh, ex- encloses you in an invisible barrier that extends from you for a 5-foot radius and 10-foot cylinder. For 5 minutes, this barrier prevents creatures of the specific type from entering the cylinder.
All right, so not for this is not for this occasion. No. Okay.
We could, in case Rasnasi sends a horde against us, go and all hide inside of it, and I think we can attack out of it.
It might be
it's
worth
to
it.
go
Dusted
through.
no longer risks. I
But
don't mind.
it's something we would have to cast in front of it.
I mean, fine. We are going to be right. We are practically gods. Let's go inside.
This
Let's turn into goldfish.
was she planning to go through with this plan today?
It
Did I
sounded
get
like
that correctly?
If the reinforcements think that she said is true, it might be a good idea. Yeah.
Right.
And I will say that if we are going to trust her, we might as well trust her in everything she said.
Valorous looks a little bit troubled, confirming that fact.
yeah. I assume we would have to give up our shields and the weapon.
Haha, that's in with her. Oh no, I use a shield as well. Fuck.
But I really like my sword.
Yeah, but but not as much
Not
as
that
you did
much.
before.
Not that much. Not as much as you think you do.
uh,
What if they
can I
steal it?
can I pass my stuff as walking stuff? Maybe that might not fly. No.
This isn't Lord of the Rings, you know. They won't forget to take your staff.
Hmm.
This is when we should have had a fighter with magic ability or a
A monk will be nice in this situation. Yeah.
no, I meant the fighter. What's the subclass called?
You mean the one that can use things as weapons?
No, that
Ah,
can
swords and spears and
He
it
means
can
Eldritch Knight that can summon his own weapon with weapon bound. Yes.
they summon their own
Yeah.
or exactly.
If only we had one.
don't worry, you have
Jar-
a sorcerer
Jarlena,
without spell slots instead.
Oh, that's true.
Jarlena, can you do that thing that you do that explodes things and cast a lot of light with your fist?
Yeah, what?
Can you do that boom thingy that you usually do with your sword, but with your fist?
Oh, I believe I can.
Really?
Cool.
It says
Cool.
it says make a melee attack. If you're on about booming blade, make a
Yeah.
melee attack.
It does say
But
that
Oh,
it-
in
wa-
the attack, yeah.
Wait, a fist
I-
count
I-
as
I-
a
Doesn't
melee,
it-
or is it
doesn't
I wa-
improvised?
I was
Yeah, it
thinking
would be
about
melee
uh,
attack.
Yeah,
about
wait, what am I about?
I was thinking about the smite, but
Oh.
booming blade requires a weapon to use.
Oh, wait, does it? Oh, yeah, melee weapon worth at least 1 silver.
Mhm.
My fists are not worth 1 silver.
The question is,
Brass
can you do a
knuckles.
smite? Can you do smites with your fist? I don't know that
You can put some
actually.
silver rings on your hands.
Ah,
What if you're wearing pure silver gauntlets?
Exactly.
mm.
Yeah, that's
Just say a
true.
melee weapon, though. A gauntlet's a weapon.
I have watched Game of Thrones. I know very well how damaging gauntlets can be.
Mm.
Divine Smite also says when you hit with a melee weapon attack. So it's-
Mm.
I think that's something that people often homebrew that you can punch smite, but raw you
Oh my
can't.
God.
I don't know.
Somehow I'm
pretty
just
crazy.
hours saying
Can you
judo.
can you try it in Dusted to see if it works?
Have you reached
Yes.
a conclusion?
The 10 minutes must have passed by now.
Mostly.
Would
The
the
answer
paladin be able to smite with it?
you seem to be a priest. Do you know if?
Do you know if I can smite people with my fists?
You will have access to your weapons. Do not
But
worry.
what if I don't?
She just gave you the guarantee. You can choose to accept that or reject her.
I have to
What
say
is
that it might be
punching
pretty
someone
easy.
with
I
a
will-
smite is quite satisfying.
Would you like to hear my plan?
Yes.
You had us on killing Rasnasi, actually, but sure.
So, we will escort you as prisoners into the Fane for an audience with Raznazi. And of
Mhm.
course, as newly captured prisoners in possession of the cubes that he is looking for, we will present you immediately to Raznazi before
Nice.
you go through processing. What that means is that we will be holding your weapons and your backpacks, of course,
Mhm.
and we will put them on the ground in front of Raz and say, "Look, my lord, what they bring for you. Your bonds will be loose, so it will not take you long to break them. We will not
All right,
tie
all right.
you. There is only
I
a
s-
deception on your part that you will need to pretend like you are restrained.
Mhm.
That way, when he calls you forward to look over you, you can leap for your weapons and jump into action."
I see. On that note, it might be a good idea to hit us a little bit rough ourselves, just seeming like we put a little fight, you know? Coming in pristine might be a little bit suspicious, don't you think?
What do you mean? I always look pristine.
Two
Thank
of
you.
you are already covered in the guts of these undead sitting inside over there.
Oh no, I cleaned one of them up.
Oh,
I'm covered in guts.
you only need to go back inside and roll around a little bit inside, and trust me, you do not smell very good.
That's it. Hit
Considering
me.
how tired Valrus is, he probably also looks pretty
Excuse
rough
me?
at the moment.
Hit
You
me.
clean me.
Give me a little cut. Here, the shoulder. I can take
The
it.
second Valrus says that, Dusted's claws just come out and swipe downwards from from right to left, up, down, and I'm probably not gonna hit you, but
No, I'm letting you hit me. Don't worry. I know.
okay.
Or Jalena and ask, you want to be clean?
Yes.
Ow!
I look
Oh.
perfect at every fight, regardless of if we lose or
Oh
win.
no! It stings. The poison.
Mhm.
What poison?
from your braces.
No, it's not the poison.
Tell me you. Tell me you keep.
It's my all ordinary claws. Dustin has
I-
claws.
I
Dirty
take the
claws.
damage and I take the damage and let the blood run towards my clothes. Tell me you keep those clean, please, please.
His claws. Oh dear.
Totally.
Dusted? Do you keep your clothes clean?
What do you mean?
Perfect.
He's just struck you. He's just there with a bloody hand. He doesn't do anything with it. It's just like, yeah, there you go. Here's your cut.
All right. Now it's my turn, and I proceed to hit you with my fist, which does 1 point of damage. How does
Yeah.
Dustin look with an eye? With an
The black
eye.
eye. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a black kitty cat. It doesn't really show, does it?
I think that hits you. Ah, no, actually.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But I just take 1 damage. I let you hit me. Yeah.
Whilst you're all busy standing in a huddle, punching and striking each other, she turns around and hisses a bit like that, and from the undergrowth behind her, 6 forms almost seem to emerge from the brush. And they come forward with leather cords that look
You
like
had this plan. I love it.
rudimentary shackles.
I'm curious, Fantasia, what was going to happen if we rejected your offer?
The same.
Yeah, I mean, she had it prepared. So.
I have said this once before. Your tabaxi friend is very wise. I am very pleased that you have accepted my proposal. This will be the start of a beautiful business relationship. Now, please, for the rules to work, we will need each of you to give your equipment to one of my companions over here.
All right, I give her my staff and my shield.
I have a question. Does the braces count as a weapon?
Well, they're braces. They look like weapons.
Well, they look like braces on the armor.
They are literally just like pieces of leather strapped to your forearm.
Exactly.
They do not look like weapons at all.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
DM, I actually am going to ask her. I have this dagger. It's not. Do you think it's necessary to give it to you?
We would definitely do a thorough search of all of our prisoners, but of course, you can try and conceal it in perhaps your boot, and we may have missed it. In which case, you would need to roll a sleight of hand check.
Oh, I will
Stealth,
try
yeah.
I will try to conceal it in my boot. Yeah, sure.
You can
nah.
try and conceal some weapons amongst your clothing, but bear in mind, we will be carrying the majority of your arms and armors. But none of you seem to be wearing anything too heavy, so not a problem.
I'm wearing half plate, so about that statement. Might not be. Are armor-like jackets. Do they have pockets inside?
She reaches behind her with her hand out and she starts to speak in her own language to one of the UNT guys behind, and he takes off what appears to be like a shoddy robe, almost like a poncho. She retrieves it from him and hands it to you. This should work for the ruse.
All right, I will take the offer and hide my dagger of warning in it. Thank you so much.
So Varga, do you hand over the majority of your equipment, your backpack, your staff, your shield?
My staff and my shield. Do they require my backpack as well?
Yes.
Oh, yes, but I will take my spell book with me. Try to hit it in the puncture, which don't know very well how that would turn out. But the spell book I will not give. In any case, I will put it in the bag of holding, but not give it to them directly. No.
Okay. So which one is it? Bag of holding or conceal it
Let's
on
do
your
bag.
person?
Let's do bag of holding. Who has it, by the way? Dusted.
Dusted has it, yeah.
Yeah, but I won't have it when we go in.
And you'll hand it to the courier or the guy who's going to be carrying your stuff.
I mean, that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Valrus, are you going to give up your stuff to one of the guys?
Barely have anything to give, so
Lunan? Shield? Weapons?
Shield, machete, and I'm trying to figure out if I have anything in my backpack that I would want to try to conceal. I think I still have one of the key of Mesro. I want to try to hide that on my body.
Mm-hmm. You could
So
probably...
it's,
Yep.
I think, just so it's clear that it's not in the backpack.
Okay. And you've got your holy symbol with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Dusted, you've given up everything as well, have you?
The only thing I've taken from my backpack is the techie root, which I intend to eat before we go in.
I love it. I have a lot of spells that don't require material components.
And I'm just gonna send it to the game log. I only have one. But basically, it gives me advantage on saving throws against the effects of poisonous or toxic substances
If it lasts
for 8 hours.
in which case then you should probably eat it now.
Exactly. So I'm eating it now, so it lasts, hopefully, when the fight starts.
Okay. And then finally, Yalena.
She will hand over her weapons and stuff reluctantly,
And pack.
and pack. But she will keep her holy symbol and her. Can she keep her cloak of protection on, or will they want to take that as well?
It's clothing. They don't know it's magical.
That's
So
fine. She'll keep that on.
They haven't asked for it.
Yeah, and she'll keep her Ring of the Warrior on, just in case.
They haven't asked for any of that. Okay, so it takes about 10 minutes for all of you to slowly but surely hand over your stuff to each one of the stewards who is assigned to carry your individual goods. Fenthaza then takes out the leather cord and she slowly, loosely binds it around your wrists with your wrists behind your back. In order to make sure that no one looking at you face on sees your bindings are not bound, I will be putting your hands behind your backs. That way you can try and conceal it yourselves, yeah?
Sure. That's
Fair enough.
fair, yeah.
So, and then as each of you put your hands behind your backs and your wrists are very gently bound together, it will take you one action to just stretch your wrists and shake your hands to get the bindings off.
That's the
She,
last laugh in action search.
she then takes another leather cord and binds each of you together, almost like a chain gang, through the wrists. So you're almost walking along in single file. And as she straightens you all out in single file line, your porter, who's carrying your equipment, walks right next to you with one hand covering your bindings to hold them, almost to appear as if they're pushing you and driving you like cattle forward. And then she steps to the front, while one of the bodyguards next to her stands with her and one of the others stands right at the back of the train. She turns around and, yes, you look like prisoners. Okay. Are we all ready then? Remember,
That-
please act as if you are captives and bewildered that we have taken you so easily.
Oh no, I am a captive.
wow.
How-
I think looking at the ground and looking miserable will do, Yerlena. But
I vow vengeance upon you all.
And
yeah.
remember, captives do not speak out loud until spoken to, please. This is part of the rules, okay?
Fine.
Do you have enough people to carry all the weapons Dusted was carrying?
Trust me. We have got enough. Now,
All right.
when you are ready, let us go. And she leads you out of the compound, between the buildings and the walkway. She walks in a straight line towards the end.
Before we come close to the temple, I have to say this is the biggest trust exercise I have done in a long time.
You should
Please
try
don't fail.
closing your eyes and falling backwards now.
Yeah, please don't fail us.
Oh, they even took away my shitty crossbow.
The one you use every combat.
Yeah.
So, as you trudge through the undergrowth, your UNT companions almost seem to guide you in the correct steps so that you don't trip or fall safely all the way to the base of the compound down there. They then lead you up towards the circular, what was once the palace. Crumbling stone surrounds the ground where you walk as she leads you around the circumference and towards the front entrance of the fane. When you get to the front, a wide passageway slopes down to a set of bronze doors. Coiled serpents decorate the metal, with a sliding hatch at head height. 4-inch wide holes pierce the base of each door. Flanking either side of the door are two almost deformed UNT. Not quite human, but not quite snakes. And in the center of the double doors, in the front, a large snake-headed UNT stands guard. He looks up as he sees you coming. I need all of you to roll a deception check for me, please, and I will give you advantage on this. As she walks towards him, she doesn't say much, but she nods her head. And he looks over all of you.
Thank God for the advantage.
looks over all of you one by one, and his tongue slithers out as he communicates with her.
I would like to add my plus D10 to my deception check.
Okay. Dusted, I was going to give you inspiration, by the way, for something. I've forgotten what it was. But you made oh, it was for the keys. You were the one who said put them together. So, Dusted, you get inspiration for that, by the way. If I would have said it straight away, you would have all known it was the right thing to do.
In that case, I'm using that now.
Okay.
Because Dusted is a little furious with his current predicament. A 9,
Harvey,
so...
You're so good at acting.
That
You
is
may
pretty
save
good.
us.
The double doors ahead of you open up, and beyond them, you see grates on the ground. Either side of the grates are 2 more of these malformed UNT. As ahead of you, a corridor stretches southwards and then, of course, to the east. Come with me, prisoners. Hurry up.
Oh my.
Stupid.
Is that the priest talking?
Yeah. She is. She's talking in more of a commanding voice, and as she leads you in towards the corridor, she heads southwards. Oh, I'm on the wrong flipping thing. Fog, thank you. Reveal. She leads you down a very wide corridor and into a chamber beyond. Here, 4 pillars are carved with serpent reliefs that support a 20-foot high ceiling of this large room. In the middle of the room is an 18-foot high statue of a coiled cobra facing northwards. Torches with green flames flicker on the walls, and the air reeks of dung. 2 wagons are parked in one corner, and a triceratops is confined in a metal pen in the other. To the west are a pair of dark alcoves, and to the south is a wide pillared hall.
I have so many questions, but okay.
If we have time, I think that's a new mount.
As you move into the room, let me actually...
Are you talking about the priestess?
No, I'm talking about the Triceratops.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Let's make you guys large. There we go. As the party moves in towards the room, you take a look around, and one UNT, human looking except for its eyes, that seem to blink sideways, looks up. Either side of her, you can see 4 of these malformed UNTs guarding the entrance. 2 of them over here by the wagons, but the other 2 are holding what appears to be a strange looking creature. The creatures, however, don't look up. Their eyes are downcast. They are chained to the wall, as the 2 UNT either side also hold leashes on towards them. She then...
Do I recognize those creatures then?
You probably would not.
Okay.
But you probably know what they are from... You've never encountered them before. You could, in fact, I'll let you make an intelligence check. You don't have access to Volo's guide.
Nature or straight intelligence? It's the same. It's the same. Doesn't matter.
Good.
Yeah, I don't recognize them.
You do not, no. She then leads you eastwards. Oh, stop clicking ruler, dude. Okay. And the first thing you notice is that she leads you out onto a balcony.
Of course.
As you gaze out across from the balcony and she leads you down the slope southwards, you notice that this is an underground cathedral that has opened up ahead of you. On the one end, the sculpted balcony that perches above 5 stone serpents. Blood dribbles from the serpent's jaws, falling into a semicircular basin into the center of the room, where the blood is collected in a wide stone bowl that is set into the floor. South of the bowl is a mezzanine, prominently situated atop which is a cauldron of steaming broth that exudes fleshy odors. On the top of the balcony that you've just walked past, a huge gong with a carved snake pattern stands in the middle. She leads you down the ramp, past the boiling broth, down the ramp towards the double doors, past the big pool of blood in the center.
I briefly look back to see what my companions' reactions are to this particular chamber.
What do you all see? How do you all react?
Well,
Bargo is giving the look of this might not have been a good idea.
Alris would probably look very sort of scared and like try and turn away from it, but you can't really tell, I guess, possibly if he's pretending or not.
Lunan is probably a mixture of fear and fascination,
Mm-hmm.
trying to memorize as much as possible.
Okay.
For reference later.
Yeah.
And Yelena wants to take a dive in that pool.
Absolutely. She just grimaces a little bit, but she doesn't seem put off or overly intrigued.
How many people do you think you need to fill up that thing with blood? That's
Oh
out
my
of
God.
birds.
That's a lot.
Gerlena's list of enemies could easily fill that one.
All the birds
All
in
the
there.
birds of the world. She leads you up to the set of double doors. This throne room is just down this corridor. Remember, you must appear meek as prisoners. Please, in order for the ruse to work.
Sure, and feel free to hit us or do whatever you want with us in order to make that work.
Feel free to hit him and do whatever you want.
Exactly, hit
She
me.
inclines her head to you. Yeah, yes. Silence, prisoner! And slaps you across the top of the head. I am just practicing, of course.
I like practice, and I spit a little bit of love on the floor. Yeah, this will do.
She looks at
Maybe
you.
a little bit more oomph next time.
Please, this is my temple. This is where I give my sermons. Have some respect for the gods.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I
No harm intended. Right. She looks at each of you. Her almost snake-like eyes blinking. I hope you are ready. And with
Oh,
that,
yeah.
Be.
she turns around and nods to the bodyguard next to her, and his 2 muscular arms put pressure on the handles, and they click open, and he pushes the double doors.
See, that's how it's done. That's how you open that door.
The doors slowly swing inwards. Ahead of you, a long corridor extends all the way down a good 45 feet into a room beyond. As she takes a step in, "Silence, prisoner!" She turns around and slaps you and says very loudly, as she then yanks you, Vargo, at the head of the party further down the corridor. By the time you reach the end, let me... Perfect. Okay. You're frog marched into the room beyond. Looking around, 4 pillars support a vaulted ceiling, and steps ascend to an iron throne carved in the likeness of a hydra. Painted on the wall behind it is a large blue triangle. To the south, an engraved stone disc is set into the floor of the alcove in the center of the wall. In the east wall, a 10-foot wide opening leads to a flooded cave beyond. Standing in each corner of the room is one of these malformed Yuan-Ti. Atop the throne sits none other than Raz Nazi himself.
He looks like a mummy.
Wow.
Leaning back,
Okay.
his 10-foot long serpentine, almost scale-like tail slouches and curls around the base of the throne. His face is covered with bandages, as is his body and his hands. He looks like his flesh is slowly decaying from his body. Standing one step below him... Oh, that picture doesn't come out. That's not good. Is another Yuan-Ti. His snake-like torso, arms, and head are covered in silver scales. He is shirtless, and he carries a wicked-looking two-handed scimitar in his hands, as he holds both in front, pommel in palms, scimitar tip in the ground, almost leaning his chin on this great blade. At the base of the throne area are 2 serpent Yuan-Tis. Both of them are almost gesturing with their hands, nodding with their heads as their snake-like tongues are darting out. They appear deep in conversation. As you enter the room, Raz Nazi looks up, and the 2 Yuan-Ti in front of him almost part and step aside as you are led into the chamber. Fenthaza steps forward. With a flick of her wrists and a bow of her head, you can almost picture the words that she's saying to Raz Nazi as she bows in reverence, and all of the others that entered with her do the same and almost copy the same gesture, a bit like a bow of the head and a flourish of the wrists. Raz Nazi's back straightens up as he looks out, and his eyes, the slits in his eyes, almost seem to close as he leans forward. She turns around and she quickly claps her hands. And your porters or your guides let go of your wrists and step forward, placing your weapons and equipment down on the ground in front. On the ground, they then reach in, open the backpacks, and pull out the cubes. Dusted, in this instance, you have still got one of the cubes in your belt pouch that they didn't check. As they lean forward, they place the cubes down on the ground. Raznazi looks up. And in the common tongue, so, these are the ones wreaking havoc in my city. Leave us, Fenthaza. I will deal with their insolence myself. And she almost does a flourish and a bow. And she then nods and inclines her head. I need each of you to... Lunan, you don't need to roll a perception check, but the rest of you will.
What's the little creature that's that one?
He's the silver looking one, the silver Yunti.
Correct.
Mm.
He's the silver UNT that he's Raznazi's bodyguard, basically.
Alright. And please, can you share an image of these dudes, because I cannot picture them in my mind. It's
Yes.
okay.
Oh, alright.
They are mostly how I picture them. Okay.
Okay, let me just do the final. So it's Vargo, Valrus, Lunan, Dusted. Then Yelena.
Don't we have the guards of Fentasha with us?
So,
Or
as they put your equipment on the ground in front of you, they nod their heads to Raznazi, bow one last time. And Yelena and Dusted and Lunan, as she walks past you, gives you a wink, and she says, "Get ready." And she retreats. Lunan, you hear her whisper. Yelena, you do too, with an 18 and a 19. She says in the common tongue, "I'll cover the door." And before you can react, they all back out of the chamber.
With our stuff.
Your stuff is lying on the ground in front of you. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh.
So they cover the entrance and we deal with the ones inside the room. I like it.
We are not locked in here with you. You are locked in.
Aris, how are you spell-wise?
I have a mighty 2 first level spell slots remaining.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
How? How much have you used?
Well, all the other ones went in the previous day. I didn't get a rest.
Wait,
so.
Oh yeah, that's right. Shit. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you had a shoulder. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, he was not very happy about this
No,
plan
no.
being so soon.
Yeah.
It's fine. We are fine. We can
How
deal
are,
with them.
how are you guys at holding your breath? See
How
the
are
spell.
we? What?
You will have to drag Dusted out of this room before
I'm.
you won't get him out before Rasnasi lies dead on that throne.
No, but
Barwick is mostly full of spells.
nice.
And holding your breath is Constitution based, as I remember.
Yeah.
You can hold it a number of seconds or something based on your Constitution, and then you start drowning.
No, it's you start suffocating, yeah, and then you have a number of rounds equal to your Constitution modifier, and then you die.
So, yeah.
Because one of the things I
Or go
could do is
unconscious.
raise the water 20 feet.
I have a good con. I don't mind this.
I mean, they are snakes. How amphibious do they look?
I think it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, I will say that we are in a disadvantage fighting underwater against them.
Yeah.
I actually think that's at least giant poisonous snakes have like swim speed. So I mean, don't like the chances.
And I think I'm the only one that can breathe underwater.
I'm about
Spells
to.
might be difficult as well.
I'm about to discover that if Yuan-Tis have magic resistance. I know the race does, but I don't know if the monster does. This will be fun.
I'm sure they all do.
Well, if that's true, it's bad news.
Rasnasi probably have.
Dusted, I want you to take the potion of haste and gloop it up, or Jargona. It's now or never.
Rasnasi probably have. What are they called? Those. Legendary actions and resistances.
I hope so.
Oh, he should. I hope so. It's like
To be expected, considering the feather one.
yeah.
Was he?
I mean, I can grab my filter of love, and then we hope that he falls in love with us, and then we can kill him.
It's another possibility. Did we? I have in my notes that she was at a time some kind of paladin of.
Yeah.